All right, guys, we are live. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to OFFTHEHOOK Outdoors. I'm Ted, your host. And today, my guests are Chris from City Sticker Chris. What's going on, Chris?
What's happening?
And my second guests are Shawn and Dawn. They're the owners of Jinx'Em Scents. I am a pro staff member of Jinx'Em Scents. So, welcome in, guys. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Good
Yep,
to see everybody. We invited a bunch, so I hope to see a bunch of our followers jump in here too.
Awesome. I appreciate that. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. So there you go. Perfect, Shawn. Just like that. Yep. Now you can see both you guys perfectly. All right. So who do we have in here? We have Bruce in here. We have Ray in here. We got Chris City Sticker Chris in here.
Yeah,
he's commenting, so that's cool. So we got a couple people in here right now. Why does my thing keep shutting off? I don't like that.
Iowa Trapper's in.
5229. Iowa Trapper,
Hello.
what's up?
Iowa
Thank you
Fisher.
for coming in. Yeah, I can see him on here. Why is it doing that? It's crazy. All right, so we're good.
So from here, how do I share this if I want to share it to invite people?
I think you have to go back out into my YouTube page and hit share and then share it out. Like you'd have to go on to Off the Hook Outdoors, and then you would have to go to share under where we're at, and then share it to wherever you need it to go to.
Gotcha.
Logan, what's up, Logan? What's up, Iowa? Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate you guys. We got some stuff to talk about tonight, as you can see from the thumbnail. I want to talk about what the deer are doing at this time of the year, and also we're going to talk about some late season tactics. But before we start, I just wanted to mention some of my partners, and one is Fishoholic, FishAngler, Yola Tech. We got a Shield, we got Redmond Hunting, and we also have Jinx'Em Scents. So thank you guys. Thanks to all my partners and affiliates for being part of the channel. And so I guess I'll start with Shawn, if you guys are okay with going first, and we'll sit back and listen to you. What are the deer doing right now in your area? And I know we talked a little bit earlier before we got live, but I wanted to see what you guys are witnessing down your way.
Okay.
Oh, is that me?
That's you.
Yes, that's you. That's okay.
Sorry, Don had me multitasking, and
Just turn your alerts off because the mic's right beside it.
She'll keep you straight, Shawn. Don't worry. I know she will.
no, it's all good. So, it's been real slow around here. Our gun seasons are in right now. Actually, second shotgun opened today. So first shotgun opened last Saturday. So as far as people who are hunting public ground or even private ground that's getting hunted, it's pretty tough right now. The deer are pretty much those that have survived so far are kind of dug in. I've been getting a very, very few pictures on my mocks out on public ground. I have been getting some, no bucks. I haven't gotten any bucks in probably week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the day before season opened last Saturday was first shotgun. I picked up a buck the day before, and everything I'm picking up now are doe and fawn. Now here on my urban property, which is nice with the urban property because honestly, it really kind of shows what the deer do in their natural kind of no pressure, nothing happening, just what's going on. I still got chasing going on here on my urban property. I picked up 3 bucks last night on the scrape out back, bunch of doe, and so we're still getting just a little bit. We're getting the doe, the fawns is what's happening right now. The fawns are getting old enough; they're cycling in, so we're getting that real kind of hit or miss, sporadic doe and heat. And if you're on stand, one of them doe fawns cycle in, man, you're gonna think it's the 5th of November again.
Yeah.
But it is pretty slow. The last 3 days I've been picking up bucks on my mock out back. So they're starting to check again. And that I'm pretty positive that we've probably had one of those fawns, 1 or 2 of them have cycled, got them all kind of geek back up again and ready to go. But it'll be short lived. Our second rut is usually is pretty quick. We get, you might get 4 or 5 days, and then things will slow right down. And but feed, that's what we've been getting a lot of action on too. They're hitting the feed pretty hard. So we've been cold up here. Today was a high of I think we hit
like 13.
Yeah, we hit 32, 33 today. But
we had a bad ice storm last night.
We're still having it.
Yeah.
But the 3 days prior, we've been down into we've been down single digits overnight. 10, I think we were 10 degrees was our high yesterday. We had like 15 the day before that. So they've been hitting feed pretty hard. So that's where I'm at right now with what you need to be keying in on. Keep those mocks. I freshened up my mocks and that was it. And I found it kind of funny there when I was going for my 5th doe. I went up and I juiced that scrape all up with our ecstasy, our dominant buck, and the preorbital gland scent. And the bucks came in. I seen the bucks first. They actually come in, sniffed all over it, and then within about 20 minutes after that, I got doe running past me and the buck chasing after her. Now, obviously, she wasn't in us just because she was running from me, but it literally, I was like, oh, I put that ecstasy out there. These bucks think that there's a doe in here that's in heat. So now they're going to chase after all these doe, even though they're not, and try to find which one of them may be giving off that scent that they're picking up. That's what I think's going on. And kind of the same thing back here. I juiced up this scrape here 2 days ago out back, and I've been picking up bucks on it every day, doe too as well. But yeah, right now we're kind of in that, they're in that heavy feeding now. It's that time. Of course, pressure is bad, honestly. I mean, they've been through bow season, they've been through gun season out here in Iowa. They've been through bow, they've been through early muzzleloader, they've been through first shotgun, second shotgun started today. The 23rd, everything opens back up for late split for bow and then late muzzleloader. So people are going to be struggling right now. That's just what's happening this time of the year. Your best bet is to get in between that heavy covered bedding where they're staying right now in the feed source. And probably I'm one of those guys, I don't like to hunt this time of the year right on the food source. Now, if you've got deer that are not getting the pressure, sure, you're good. You got private ground and you ain't been shooting anything and the deer are still coming out in your food plots and everything like that, perfect. But for like me, I'm public land pretty much for the most part. Those deer, they're totally different. Educated. Yeah, they're educated. They know what's going on. It's going to be tough. You're going to probably have to get back into the timber a little bit, try to get maybe close as you can to the bedding areas without bumping them, without letting them know that you came in there. So, I want to try to get that 100, maybe 75 yards off their bedding zone if I can get in there and do it quietly. That's kind of where it's at least for us. Like I said, every area is different. And the bottom line is this all boils down to pressure. How much pressure have those deer been feeling? If they're feeling a bunch like the public ground, you may go sit for 3 or 4 days and not even see a deer. But if you got some good private, you've been kind of just letting the deer come in and you're actually after a specific buck. So you're not shooting doe, you're not shooting little bucks, you're not shooting anything. You're looking for that one good buck and you're letting these deer come in and out all the time. You're in pretty good shape right now. But like I said, for anything that's getting hunted pretty hard and has been hunted pretty hard, it's going to be a struggle right now.
Ray Outdoors says he can't wait to try the scent that Ted sent him.
Good deal. You'll like it. You'll like it.
Yeah. And then guys, if you are listening to Shawn right now about your mock scrapes and stuff, that's still going to help you now. It ain't over yet with the mock scrapes at all.
No. We're going to put doe trickling. You're going to get a doe going to pop here, and it might be 5-6 days later, another one's going to pop.
Yeah.
And it might be another 5 or 6 days later, another one's going to pop. So keep them mocks going right now. I'm running everything. I'm running our dominant buck misfortune, our doe estrus bewitched, and our ecstasy. I'm in our preorbital gland set. I'm hammering them pretty hard right now because I'm really trying to get that activity up. Like I said, our second shotgun ends here on the 22nd, I believe is the last night. I'm probably going to get out on like the 19th, maybe the 20th, and I'm going to juice up all my scrapes on the public ground, and then I'm just going to get out of there, and I'm going to actually monitor those scrapes sitting at home.
Awesome.
I always do it, never fails. Late December, a week after second shotgun's over, I start getting bucks back in, and they'll literally hit those mocks. I've been hitting them until right through January, pretty much. So I'm going to sit back, kind of watch those cameras, and just kind of wait. And once I start seeing, especially if I got one of my shooters shows up, then it'll be time that I'll probably go ahead and try to sneak back in there and see if I can't get her done. But it's going to be tough. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is the toughest time of the year to harvest, especially big bucks, especially those that have had some pressure on them. So it is what it is. And bottom line is you just got to log those hours in that seat and keep your fingers crossed and hope that you catch him moving before seat. We're done January 10th. So I get back in on the 23rd of December. I got until the 10th of January. And that's my whole hope, is that I get him to settle down just enough that I get a crack at a decent one out on public ground. So that's kind of where we're at.
And a lot of people think that you should only be running mocks from July through whenever you're done hunting. We run mocks 365 days a year. And some people ask why we do that. One, especially after season for us, we want to know, and we want to know what of our our target bucks survived.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know who made it through season. So we're already preparing for next season. The day after
knowing
season.
Who made it, so you know they're going to be back.
And we also like to watch them, lose their antlers, see all the baby fawns. I mean, we like to see everything about it. But it also helps really establish a pattern on who truly lives there and the ones that we're only seeing during rut are our travelers.
Once those start cycling out, we get in, the end of that hardcore meat of the rut. Those bucks start traveling, so you're obviously, when you pick up bucks, like, oh my God, where have you been? And it's like, buck lives 10 miles away. He's just on the move. He's looking for more dough. That's what he's after. But like Don said, I'm that big one too. My best time to run mocks obviously is, running through pretty much October, November. But my second favorite time of the year actually is after season is over. Our season will end January 10th. You'll see me in on all my mocks on public on the 11th. And I'll freshen all of them. I'll put new batteries in my cameras and that's it. And I let them run.
Okay.
I got cell cameras now, so it's pretty nice. You can kind of sit back and monitor. But I do still I got one mock out there that I do have an SD card cam on.
Cool.
So that's it. I'll come back in. I might let them run for, that SD card. I might let it run for a month, the whole month of January, maybe get it even in the mid-February. And then I'll go pull that card and kind of see what I got going on. And it's like, okay, cool. He made it. And that's, like to say, that's my second favorite time of the year to run mocks, is literally after season is over and picking up what I've got, what survived, what's still there. And if they've lived, I've had my 160s, 170s, January 2nd, there he is standing on my mock at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you just never know.
Yeah. All right. So while you were on your scent right there, I have hold on, I messed this up. Okay, let me just move JJ out of there. Guys, if you guys are interested in the Jinx'Em Scent, there is the link right there at www.jinxemscents.com. And if you use my code OFFTHEHOOKOUTDOORS, you can save 10% on any of the products that are there. The only thing that it does not work on is the apparel, because it is a print on demand. So that code does not work for apparel, but it works for everything else on the Jinx'Em Scent. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, Jinx'Em Scent is legit. That's why I joined the crew. It works, and I've had the best success this year with any scent that I've been using over the last 35 years of my hunting. And this year, it won me over in 1 year. So I just want to let you guys know that. Check it out. Go over there. And they do not only have the scent. They have minerals. They have seed. They have little toys and tricks that they have with the hex gear, the drag rags. They have the ropes. They got the seasoning. So they're everything from field to table. So make sure you're checking out Jinx'Em Scents.
Yep. We keep them healthy. We lure them in, and then we help enhance
taste
that.
yummy.
when
Then you
come
enjoy
down
you
on 'em.
you enjoy them, yeah. After that, but yes, I wanted to ask you guys real quick here while you were explaining about your scents and everything. How now with this cold weather out there, how does your dabs hold up to that? Do they freeze? Do they, how do they hold up in the cold weather with the freezing? Like when it gets below, when it's freezing temperatures, how do the dabs hold up for you guys?
They'll freeze up and they'll actually shrink down a little bit when they get real cold, and that's all we recommend. We have some guys will put them in the freezer.
Mhm.
They're really not freezer friendly. If that container is like stuffed full brand new from us, you put that in the freezer, it will blow the top.
Your wifey won't like you.
But the funny thing about it is though, is that even though it blows that top,
Yeah.
the beads actually are smaller.
Okay.
But you get a lot of that moisture in the ice and that builds up around it that'll blow that top off of it.
I got you.
So what you guys will see during this cold time is you'll see those beads will shrink right down. Warms back up, they'll swell back up again, and we get up above freezing, they're going to come right back to their original shape. Of course, you've probably noticed that if it rains,
Mhm.
They blow up.
they'll get
They
big.
get big. They get big like a marble.
But yeah, they deal with the cold good. They literally do. Now, if you grabbed them and maybe mess with them, you could probably crush them.
Yes.
Mhm.
But other than that, they seem to hold up pretty good during this cold weather. Again, they'll shrink down. They might get little ice crystal spikes off of them, things like that. But once it gets up back above freezing, they'll settle right back into pretty much their original form.
Cool. And while we're on that too, real quick, guys, and they do have the natural deer urine and they also have the synthetic. Now, the synthetic, you don't have to freeze. You can put that in your fridge. After the season, if you have any left over, don't throw it out. Put it in your fridge. Save it to next year. If you have any dominant buck or anything, use that for your early mock scrapes that you start up next year. And then you'll reorder again and start it again like next year.
Yeah,
But
good advice, because that's literally what we do. If you got anything about 100% left, throw it in the freezer. Our synthetic, you can get away with just throwing it in the fridge. And use that stuff. So come July, I know I run mocks all year round, but I do have several that I wait and I don't open up until we get maybe mid to late June, first part of July, and that's what I use. I grab our old stuff, your old stuff, pull it out. Dominant buck is pretty much all I'm running. Come June, July. Our Mystic Pure Over the Glance scent, of course, I'm running that too, but I'm just using the buck urine during them summertime mocks, and I won't even start introducing that estrus. And I've been kind of learning over the years too, really, to be honest with you.
You did it earlier this
You
year.
can probably start actually cheating in with that doe estrus about mid-October for the Midwest.
okay.
You can start introducing a little bit of that, and it seems to work. It don't seem to bother them a bit. And if you actually read up and look on Google and see when a whitetail's estrus cycle is,
Mhm.
it generally runs from September through January, February. So if you're jumping in there around that 15th, and I'll just throw it out there like this too, that 15th to the 20th of October,
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
I'd be seriously thinking it's time to start introducing a little bit of this estrus out here onto my mocks. And it won't bother them a bit. And honestly, sometimes I've noticed I get that big spike. I get that big jump where it might be a lot of little bucks, but you get a lot more bucks coming in early like that, checking that out like, because they don't know any better. They're young. They ain't been around the block enough. Big bucks, they still visit too. I still get those guys in June and July also. So,
Cool.
but a lot of it you'll be a lot of doe and fawn and a lot of your little dinkers. So
Cool.
So I do want to say, Phil, you're more than welcome for the Christmas card. Ray's Outdoors wants to know, Shawn, are you guys going to get into selling deer grunts? We've talked about it.
we have
Last 3 years we've actually talked about
that's
it.
a whole nother. You know what? The deer call that I want to develop is a sneeze. I don't know how many times I have sat in the woods and I've listened to deer.
Yeah.
Sneeze.
I call it a cough. Like if they cough
Yeah.
or sneeze, like either
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I want to make a call like that. I'm like, that's a total, just communicative, relaxing. I mean, I've had deer stand out in the hayfields in front of me and they start sneezing, and the next thing you know, here I got 5 or 6 more deer coming out of the timber, coming out like, oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that'd be a great call to be able to come up with, but I don't know how you would even go about. It's almost like you'd have to have something that you blow into and build up the pressure and then hit a release valve
Yeah,
that makes it give out that sound. But no, we've thought about deer calls, and it's just,
We've expanded so much over the last 3 years.
that stuff, when you get into that plastic injection molding stuff and you're doing, that stuff gets expensive because a lot of those people are wanting
100,000 minimum.
You're doing
10,000 minimum.
yeah, you're 20,000 minimum parts that we're gonna run for you
yeah,
at $4 a part. Yeah, they're cheap, maybe even $3 a part. But
mhm.
yeah, they make you buy 20,000 of them. So you're
Yeah.
like, that's probably not gonna happen.
Now, all the information that you gave out, Shawn, where can you let the chat know where you guys located at, just so they know what part of the country you guys are in?
We are in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so we are considered eastern Iowa. We're pretty much right. Cedar Rapids sits like right in the middle, north and south, but we're just inside out of the Illinois border, like an hour and 20 minutes, I think, hour and a half tops. So yeah, eastern Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Very cool. All right, Chris, what do you got for us? What's going up your way in north? I guess you're considered
I want to hear what Chris has going on with his deer.
for sure. What you're considered northeast, right?
Yeah, well, northwest. Yeah,
Northwest.
I call it Central PA, but I'm
Okay.
more westerly.
Well, I'll believe you because you live there. So wherever you're
Yeah.
from.
so here's what I got going on. I've got cell cams running right now on my scrape still, and I'm getting action at night, of course. Public land is obviously there's pressure, like Shawn was saying, because I'm getting pictures of people walking through my scrapes too. Unbeknownst to them, they're getting their picture taken because my cameras are up on the Spy High mounts. But yeah, I've got a couple good ones still visiting, but they're not really working it like they were a month ago. But I have everything out there and they're hitting them, checking them. A lot of doe at night, and this is the public I'm talking about. Now, when you drop back and start talking about my local stuff here around the houses and stuff, all the little ones are out. So that tells me mama's on the run. She's probably possibly back in if she didn't get bred, and the boys are interested in looking for a girlfriend, so she's on the run again. And because all I'm seeing is these little dinks, man.
Yeah.
All these little females, little button bucks running around. I took my boy out this morning. We saw 3, and they was tiny, little fuzzy faced does. Tonight we went out, didn't see anything. People aren't out, but you drive past the fields on posted, loaded.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. We drove by this one dude's field. He had 20 some deer out there. I was like, my Lord, this is nuts, man. They know I swear they read. I swear they can read. But yeah, the local deer are running around though. I mean, it was so cold, like Shawn was saying, up in his area is cold. We're like unusually cold here right now too. Actually, next door at camp, water's froze up. I'm waiting for Monday for the 47 degrees to come to thaw me out. But yeah, I noticed though today it hit like 32-ish degrees and the deer started moving.
Yep, that's where we were today too, right there, about 32 degrees.
Yeah, and they started coming out of the woodwork, man, hitting the fields and starting hitting the food, and as some of you know, I'm a big advocate for food plotting, and they're hitting my plots hard. So as we transition into your next topic, I'll just start out by saying, like, I am going to be today was the last day of rifle in PA. So now I have to wait till the day after Christmas and flintlock will come in. And that's that's just flintlock. No inlines, none of that crap. All the traditional flintlocks. And I saved a doe tag for that because I'm jacked up about that. I want to try to.
Yeah.
I want to shoot one on my plots.
Yeah, I got a doe license too. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot one on my plots and film it because I have struck out filming this year. That doe I shot in archery, I didn't film her because I got burned out on filming, man. And this year it was like, let's get back to having fun. So this year,
that's the first time for him to not.
I did the same.
See, I got burned out, man, and I was not filming. I had all the time in the world to hit record for that doe in archery, and I did not do it. And it would have been a beautiful video, but I said screw it. And I've been filming. I'm not even lying. I have been filming full time every time. Oh my God! Since probably the 90s. I was using a high 8 video camera. And this year I killed Dabs there, the city buck. I got that all on film, and I told Dawn I'm done. The rest of this season, I am not filming these 5 doe that I'm killing. I'm not carrying that camera equipment in and out with me on the public. And you know what? It's like you said, Chris, it was nice. It's relaxing.
I'm so light, and I get to go in, and all I have to do is worry about shooting a deer.
Yeah.
I have to worry about getting a camera, setting up everything, doing everything, and then at the end of the night when it's dark, tearing it all down, packing all that in my pack. No, it was nice, and this is literally the first year in
a long time. And
30,
I told him, I said,
30 years for me that I left the camera home. I mean,
I'm so proud of you because last year or the year before, we don't hunt together 90% of the time, and he's like, I'm going to send you in with the camera on.
And there's a reason for that.
He moves too much. He might kill a lot of deer, but he moves too freaking much. Whatever. But anyway, so he set me up there, and I'm getting everything in, and I'm like, you know what? That was way too much more movement than I needed to do. And I'm about the hunt. I'm about getting in there. I'm about enjoying the scenery. I'm about seeing what's coming in. I don't get buck fever, so I'm like the opposite to where I stop hardly, I hardly breathe, and I'm all about my shot placement and all that. And we come back out that night, and I look at him, I said, you want to film, then you can come hunt with me, but I'm here to hunt. I'm not here to worry about making sure I got the shot, making sure I've got it in the frame before I can take my shot. So anytime that we film for the shows or our videos, then he comes with me. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, unless I've got it to where it's attached to my bow or my gun and it's going where I'm going. Yeah. I'm not doing all of that because to me, I started hunting late. I didn't start hunting until I was in my 30s, and I'm now in my 50s. And so to me, it was about understanding the relaxation, that it's not just about going in your tree stand and killing something. It's about getting your mind cleared and just enjoying what God has created. Yeah. And when I, got up and met with him, and it was all about, I got to film this, I got to do this, and I'm like, that's all you, honey. And seriously, if we want to do something for the show, then he goes with me because I'm about the hunt. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a very, very, very good hunter. He knows his stuff. He's went to guide school and everything. But he's more about filming. Yeah. The memories. And, now that we're on, the TV shows and stuff, I get it. But I'm just more of, I just want to go out and do what I love to do. I don't care about the TV show. Yeah. See, I'm totally opposite. I'm totally opposite. I love filming. I love to get out there. Like, it was actually really nice because I was done early, the October 16th and the 26th, 16th in PA, 26th in Ohio. And then what I got to do is just take my camera gear out with my son and my dad in the blind for the rifle season. So that was like, it was like awesome because I didn't have to carry all my stuff. I just had the filming gear, and it was really enjoyable and nice. And I love filming myself. Yeah. I do love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the filming of the deer that I wasn't going to shoot because I still don't want to get busted out. So I'm real anal about, not, movement and all within the center of your body and being covered and all that.
Yeah.
But I loved filming the squirrels and the raccoons and the possums and the bobcats or whatever comes in. I'm all about that because to me, that's still the clearing of the mind and enjoying what God created.
Yeah.
It's just the whole, when I hunt, I'm just real, again, I don't get buck fever. My excitement happens once I get down, see if I've got good blood. I track the blood. Once I see it, then I do my happy dance and, thank God for, having that harvest and all that. I get it after the fact. So I don't know. I'm just one of those people where I focus and I literally, from a lot of you guys that shake, I'm the opposite. I barely breathe. I just go into just a complete different breathing pattern, and it's all about my concentration and my shot placement. I'm one of the people where I will not shoot. And if any of you saw our show, my first Iowa buck that I shot here, we were hunting on the ground and we had really tall grass. And Shawn was elevated a little bit more than I was, and he could see him, to where he could shoot. He's like, "Here, give me the gun." And I'm like, "Oh, hell no. But I'm one of those people where I could only see from his nose up to his rack. That's all I could see. So once he came out just a little bit to where I could see his neck, then as soon as he said, "Give me the gun," and we're very competitive, I'm like, "Oh, hell no. Then I'm in my mind drawing it like a 5-year-old going, all right, this is where I need to shoot. And I said, "God, please don't let me take a bad shot." And thankfully, it was a good shot. But again, I'm just one of those people where I'll pass on a good buck if I don't know that my shot placement is, 80% good. I don't know. It's just me. But
that's a good thing to do. That's a good habit to have, though.
Well, it's amazing the year after year, the amount of, I need to bring a dog in. I need to have a drone brought in. And they don't know if it was a good shot or not, or they don't know. How do you not know if it was not a good shot? I mean, you should have saw where your shot entered. Yes, it might have been a little further back than you anticipated because he jumped or whatever. But I'm just one of those people where I've only injured 2 deer in my life. One is when I hunted with Shawn, and I was sick for 2 weeks because I shot him at 15 yards. It looked like a great shot. Freaking, we went hundreds of yards tracking him, and we just never found him. And I was sick.
I picked him up after 400 yards, and he ran away like he wasn't even hurt. But then we went back and slowed it down. I can't shoot. Hit him right on the leg, literally below the brisket, just literally right at the brisket, but right on the leg right there.
Yeah, so we come home, looked at it on the big screen, and I was just sick because even though they are resilient, the most resilient animal I swear I've ever seen, I don't want to make an animal suffer.
Yeah, and nobody does.
But there's some people that don't care. Oh, well, I'll just get the next one,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just that. But again, I didn't start hunting until later on in life.
Yeah, well, that's what my son did this year when he shot that buck in my video. He nicked the brisket, and we got blood, but I slowed it down. That's the beauty about filming, is I actually slowed it down, and I seen him nick the white part, and I seen it, and the blood that we saw was just the line he put in the brisket, and we actually followed it for a while, and we followed drops of blood, and then we saw her. We went to a hard top road, and it was private on the other side, and we seen the deer up there, and she jumped up and ran and stopped and just walked away feeding. And my son was like, "Is she going to live?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, she's good to go, buddy." And then we went back in, and then he put the hammer on another one. So that was a good thing. He redeemed himself. But yeah, it does make you sick. That's why last year I went and I looked for my son's deer, or 2 years ago when he shot his first buck, and we didn't find it. And I was like, that was a great shot. Well, here he hit, in between both of the, right before the liver, right after the lungs, before the liver. So I found him the next day, which was great. But yeah, it is sickening when you injure a deer, for sure.
Yeah, and we did see him on camera. What was it? A couple weeks after the deer I hit.
Yeah.
We did see him on camera, so that's when I started not feeling so bad because he said, I don't want anything to suffer. I'm one of those people where I'm not that hunter that.
I think we all are, though. I mean, if you're a good ethical care about the animal and everything else. That's what we're all at. It's
Yeah.
like, there ain't nothing worse. In
Yeah.
my 5th doe that I shot here, I ended up hitting a little bit farther back than I wanted to. And
It took a while.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was 2 hours after the shot. I bumped her, and she actually didn't go anywhere. She like jumped up and went maybe 2 foot and hit back down, and that was it. I backed out, but that's it. I'm that guy that comes home, and that's on my mind the whole time. It's like,
But
Yeah, for sure.
in that,
God, she's out there suffering. I wish I would have just put a better
Yeah.
shot on her, and it would have been done with.
and if
Yeah.
we would have been out on public, then we would have took that second shot. But with
Mhm.
the urban hunt, once you on an active blood trail and it went into another person's property in
Oh,
Iowa,
God.
we can't.
Chris, you'll like
So
you'll
we
like
can.
this one, Chris.
We can actively track onto other people's property in Iowa. It is legal. It is our duty that if we have an active blood trail
To
that we
recover.
track it.
Okay, Chris. So you remember you were talking about that to get the urban hunt.
Yeah,
You went into the backyard and their
right.
window was right there and the whole night.
She's washing the dishes, looking out the window.
Okay, this was worse. This doe, she ran out of the timber that I've got the permission to hunt, and there are 3 houses right there.
Ooh.
She split all 3 of them.
Mm.
And then there's this ornamental grass, and they're in clumps, and they're probably about maybe 4 foot across,
Right.
4 foot deep, 4 foot across. And there's space in between them that's probably 4 foot. And they had probably 15 of those clumps right there. And I was coming up through there, and I had my headlamp off because their lights were all on in their houses. And I'm not even lying, dude. I'm like 30 yards from these houses.
My.
So I'm all sneaking through there. I got my headlamp off, and so of course I can't see blood, but I know where I had last had blood and where the direction she was going. And I seen that ornamental grass, and I'm like, oh, that ornamental grass is literally right between 2 of those houses. I got 10 yards on one side, and there's the house. The other side, I might have had maybe 25 yards. So I come sneaking up through there, and I'll be damned. She jumped. She was laying in that. I actually got a little close. Like, ooh, I think that's her, that black lump right there. And I got a little bit closer. She let me get within probably about 5-6 yards of her. And then she kind of just jumped up and fell right back down. And maybe covered 2 foot. And I spun around and come out. And like Dawn said, on that urban hunt, a lot of people were like, why didn't you finish her off? I have my knife with me. She was still a little bit too much alive that this whole 58-year-old dude was jumping on that doe and wrestling her around and trying to finish her off. That's not happening.
Right.
So I backed out. I come back home, and I sat at the house for about 3 hours.
Yeah, you didn't leave here until after midnight.
Yeah, I went back out there. I didn't get all back into the house and everything. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So when I went back over there around midnight, of course, everybody's lights were off and everything was good. I'm like, all right, keep the headlamp off. I snuck up through there, and there she was. She had expired. So I grabbed her and drug her out of there. And then I bumped down. I'm like, I'm going to have to go ahead and get her out of here tonight. Because I was just going to gut her and then spread her open and let her stay overnight because we were 10 degrees for the temperature. So I'm like, she'll be good. But I left this big old drag trail all the way to the timber that I had permission. And then so I told Don, I'm coming back home. I'm going to grab my pack frame and I'm going to pack her out. And on my way walking back, it started snowing pretty good. And I got back to the house, and I was like, you know what? We got enough snow. It's going to cover everything. I'll wait till morning, and I'll go in and get her out the next morning. So that's what I did. But awesome. So Chris, that reminded me of you talking about that.
You know what's funny is I wonder how many people get the cops called on them for like going through people's properties down there.
Well, this is funny because in Iowa, again, ethically, we have to, if we have a nasty blood trail, we have to track.
Yeah, by law, you have to exhaust all avenues to recover your deer.
In saying that, yes, it is legal. We have to do it. But think of tree huggers.
Oh my God.
These are their deer. Oh my
God,
you can't kill our deer. And they throw a fit and everything else. And all we have to do is call Cedar Rapids Police Department, which is where we do the urban hunt.
Mhm.
Call our hunt manager and then the DNR. They come in and explain, sorry, he is allowed to, they can come out. Yes, he has to.
That is a good law we have in Iowa. I do like
Yeah.
I had a buddy in Michigan that lost. For Michigan, it was probably 140-inch buck, but
Which is
for
good
my
for
area,
Michigan.
is
Mhm.
a giant. And the neighbor wouldn't let him. He could literally see the deer laying dead on his neighbor's property. The neighbor told him no. My buddy called the DNR. The DNR come out, talked to the landowner, like, let him go get his deer. And he was like, he ain't coming on my property. Matter of fact, I'm going to go out there and put my tag on it, and I'm taking that deer. DNR said, oh, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You did not kill that deer. You cannot tag that deer. That is illegal. And that
Can't
deer
touch
laid there, and my buddy laid there. He watched. He could see that rack laying over there for freaking the next freaking fall coming there, and that deer still, the rack's over there still laying on the ground.
Yeah, because DNR.
Squirrels ended up eating it up, and it finally, disappeared into the dirt. But
Yeah.
But it's a good law because,
I do like the law. But
Dealing
I
with the
think I'm going to do a live about these for these guys that want to do these urban hunts, because
Yeah.
that is probably the biggest pain in the ass
Oh, yeah.
is dealing with the neighbors. And if you shoot a deer,
Oh, they
here in
make a
Iowa,
scene
we're
and
great.
everything. It's
I
horrible.
can get my deer. You can bitch at me all you want.
Mhm.
Don't like getting bitched at.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like the stress that comes with it all.
Mhm.
So for people that are looking at wanting to do these urban hunts, and I had guys tell me, dude, you might do it for a year or two, but you'll have your fill of it. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? And they're like, you'll find out.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's everybody in the city here. They all love these deer. They love, and
They're
we do
deer.
too. We do too. We love watching them.
Yeah.
Good night, Ray. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you.
But they look at them as they're our deer. You're killing our deer. And
Yeah.
if you come on our property, I'm calling the cops and da 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 da. So I had one run in already this year. We had run one last year, and then again this year I had 3 houses. About 6, 7 people came out giving me crap because I had one of my doe that I shot, went into the yard, did a loop, and then come back into the timber. Well, I'm following the blood through their yard right at dark. Literally, it was like right at dark, and they come out, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess what
leaving, coming back the next day, come along the edge of the timber, found the
Yeah.
blood, come back in and tracked her out and got her and all that. But
cool.
Hey, Ted,
Man.
you want to do some giveaways? I see some of your people have to get off because.
Yeah, what I was gonna mention was we're doing some giveaways tonight for the people in the chat. Thank you, Shawn and Dawn, for you're doing a giveaway, and I'm giving away some hats tonight. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I don't know how you guys want to do it, but I'm doing it I'm picking a number by how many people are in the chat, and whoever's closest without going over is gonna win the hats. So then I'll just have them email me their addresses, and I'll ship the hats out. How do you guys want to do your giveaway? How do you?
You can do the same if you want to draw the numbers for us.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Or you can just go until the first comment you see that actually matches the number that you picked.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, we can do that as well. So,
Especially if you don't go. I mean, how many we got watching?
we got like 10 or 12, 13 in here right now.
Yep. So you can do like 20, 1 through 20.
Yeah, we'll do that or whatever. So, do you guys want to explain? Do you want to tell the people what you got, or is it a surprise?
It's pretty much a surprise.
Okay.
So their names drawn,
So
and then
they-
I'll open the
are we
bag.
gonna-
and tell you.
Okay.
We'll just pick a bag.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually rip a piece of paper because I'm old school here. I'm going to pick the number. We're going to go from where we got 12 people. We're going to go from 1 to 25, okay?
And before you go, hold on, Ray, because I see Ray wants to leave.
Yeah, tell him.
Ray, yes, if you ever get back out to Cedar Rapids, or back out to Iowa, you want to check out what we do here, you are more than welcome to stop in and check it all out. Just send me a message. Message us on Jinx'Em. My personal, if we're friends on Facebook. I don't know if we are, but either way, just drop me a line. Our numbers are on Facebook. They're also on the website.
Yep, text
So
one of us.
text one of us. Texting works best. If I don't recognize your number, sometimes I don't answer.
But I do.
Just leave a message, and you are more than welcome to stop in and see everything we got going on. Everything for sure.
Okay,
All right,
now what I'm going to do in the chat, guys, is I'm going to hit the green light. I'm going to say go. When I do that, then you guys can put the numbers in. Okay, so we're going to go 1 to 25. Let me wait till I hit this go button here.
Nemesis.
I'm gonna actually use the green check mark, and we're gonna have go. As soon as go is in the chat, we're gonna go. I picked a number. I will go until I see the number. Okay, guys. So as soon as you see the go in the chat, you guys can start picking 1 to 25.
There it is. It's up.
All right, guys. And we're gonna. Do you want to do 3 years in a row, Dawn, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Or we can
Okay, we'll do your 3, and then we'll do mine, and then we'll get into the second topic because I don't want to keep everybody too late. It's you guys are, I don't want to keep it too late. It's what is it here? It's like almost 10 o'clock here. So
Yeah, 9 minutes to 9 here.
yeah, so try to keep picking. We got 1 pick so far, guys. I know there's more people in here, so start picking numbers, guys.
Yeah, start picking before I make a bunch.
Yeah, Chris.
I'm gonna put some numbers in here.
Hey, Chris, you're more than welcome. Chris, you're a guest, but you're more than welcome to do it too if you'd like
I'm
to,
putting
buddy.
my number in now.
Yeah.
You didn't get no number.
I want a hat.
There you
I
go.
want a hat.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys are more than welcome to enter. I mean, hey.
I need one of your hats, Ted, so I can show it off while I fish.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait,
You
what
guys
about
can pick all you want. That's
Or I'll wear it when we collaborate
Mhm.
in the spring when we go fishing.
While people are picking the numbers.
13. Unlucky 13.
There you
But
go.
that's lucky for Jinx. So
Yep.
we're good.
While we're on the picking of the numbers, when you were talking about the urban hunts and the deer running through people's yards and stuff like that, I guess in a way that sort of makes you guys make sure you take that good shot so you can get them down. Like you don't want to just haul off and shoot something back or anything. So you pick your shots. I'm sure that makes you sort of like a better shot, or I don't want to say better hunter, but it sort of makes you pick and choose your shots a little more, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it makes you more aware.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the story with the doe that ran into the neighbor's ornamental grass.
Mm-hmm.
I could have shot her at 20 yards broadside. She was on my mock. She was sniffing all over my hex stick. She was all over it. But she was kind of quartering to me just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I was like, yeah, I can make that shot. And I was just about ready to pull the trigger on her. And she turned and she come walking right to me. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Just let her keep coming. Perfect.
Mhm.
Let her come right up here. And I don't like those close shots. And I think I kind of let her get a little bit too close.
Gotcha.
And literally was like an 8-yard shot. So I was on a pretty hard angle. And that was it. I just hit her a little bit.
Hit her high.
It was a great hit on the entrance side, but she was just quartering at me too much. So I come down through the liver and
Gotcha.
guts and I did clip. I actually hammered the one lung hard, hit the liver a little bit, clipped the very tip of the far side lung, but it just, that one blade run right through her stomach. And God, I opened her up and it was corn and crab apples, and there's no cornfields around here. So obviously the neighbors are feeding the deer. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was kind of a mess. But yeah, exactly. That's literally where I'm at, because that's where the stress comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not stressed when I'm sitting out and I'm watching these deer on the urban hunt. It's all good. I got doe walking around. Oh, there's a nice buck over there. And, they're milling and slowly working in.
Yep.
It's when you go to take that shot. It's like, all right, make sure this is a good shot. There's not a twig one in your way. It's wide open. It's all good. And I passed a couple shots this year on deer I could have shot.
Yeah.
But I just had a little bit of stuff in the way that made me in the back of my mind going, yeah, my luck, I'm going to hit that twig. Even though I probably could have slipped an arrow through, it's still that whole mental, I need to anchor this deer just as fast as I can anchor this deer, and I don't want it going anywhere.
Gotcha.
And I did good this year. Literally that last one, my fifth doe, she probably went 100, 110 yards. But other than that, dabs there, the buck I shot, and then the other 4 doe, none of them made it more than 30 yards, maybe
Gotcha.
tops. Cool. So I got lucky. I did good. Last year was the same way when I had to kill my 5 doe. I ate all 5 of them pretty quickly as well. So yeah, but that's the stress. That's the stressful part of that urban hunt is pulling that trigger like, okay. And then, like I said, that last one, I hit her, and I knew as soon as I hit her, I was like, oh, just a little bit back, but I should be good. A little bit back.
Cool.
Yeah, she ended up going in.
So I'm curious to know, how they do the urban hunt there. I understand you have to shoot your 5 doe to earn the buck the next year, but is there any size requirement on your bucks there?
No.
Okay.
I can earn my buck tag, and if I want to go out next year and shoot a spike, that's on me.
It's up to you. Okay.
Sex tag. It's not just a buck tag. It's an any sex tag.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
I can shoot a doe on it too if I want, but
Okay.
Yeah.
would be silly. But yeah, so there's no restrictions at all. Just kill your 5 doe in one consecutive. You got to do it all in one season. So if you
Gotcha.
only kill 4 next
Start
year,
over.
you start all over. You have to kill 5.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I've got a few friends that have, killed 3, 4, can't get that 5th. So I got lucky. The urban ground that I've hunted, which is right in my block that we own property on, all bunny huggers, except for the people that own the biggest chunk of timber in the whole block.
Lucky you.
And we're sure, yeah, we'll let you urban hunt in there for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that they started this hunt in 2007, and they let a guy in the very first year. He was in for about 2 weeks, and they ended up running him out because he was doing a bunch of. So the property is in Cedar Rapids Historic Woodlands. It's registered under that and enrolled in that program. They don't pay any property tax on it, but you can't cut any wood on it. You can't mow the grass. You can't do anything. You have to let nature take its course on it. And
Yeah.
now if trees get blown over in the winds, things like that, you can go up and clean up that dead timber.
Just no live tree.
But you can't do anything else in it. You have to let that
Gotcha.
property kind of do its thing.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
He was in there cutting trees down and doing a bunch of dumb stuff, and they ended up kicking him out. Well, that was in 2007. He never killed a deer out of there.
Wow.
So it hasn't never been hunted.
We've never been hunted. So I come in there this year, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends are like, dude, I got buddies doing the urban hunting. They are literally not even seeing any deer. How are you killing all these deer? It's like, well,
He's in the sanctuary.
you gotta remember, I'm in a sanctuary. Literally, I'm on a piece of ground that has never been urban hunted. And it's 40 acres. Our block is 40 acres. And
They own 9.
I bet you
9 to 10 acres.
there's probably 16, 17 acres of it total, at least. Maybe more, maybe half, might be 20. That's timber. So the deer got plenty of hiding room, and it's
And
just,
we have a park right across the street.
it's perfect. I mean,
Mhm.
so I'll be honest. I mean that's why I do so well. Now this next year I've killed 11 deer out of there now in 2 years. This next season I think I'm just going to shoot my
What's
buck.
that?
Take any more doe,
Good.
because I think that we're going to really notice this next year over the winter here. Probably we kind of get a pretty good count because we feed the deer during the winter here too. So we'll get a good count at what's still kind of hanging in the block here.
Right.
Cool.
Now, do they have,
It'll be down.
do you have a, what am I trying to say? They have some kind
What?
of qualification program you
What'd
have
say,
to,
Sid?
you
Yep.
have to qualify to do this? Because like down in Pittsburgh, they used to have the urban hunt out in North Park. I don't know if Dawn remembers that. I don't know how long she's been gone from there, but
Oh, I love North Park.
you remember the North Park
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Okay, they used to put out a freaking pie plate, and if you could sink 3 out of 5 arrows into a pie plate at 30 yards, you was in. That was their qualification.
Let me get this. Let me get through this stuff here.
Thing here.
You got to take the
With Iowa, I had to go online and I took a bow hunter safety course.
Okay.
I mean, I took safety and all that, but I had to actually have the card saying that I took a bow hunter safety course. So I did that online, cost me $30.
5 hours.
Right.
Yeah, it took me, they said on their approximate time was 3 hours, and I rushed. I mean, I literally tried to go through that thing as fast as I could. Took me about 4.5 hours.
Jeez.
So the
Nice.
3 hours was a lie.
Yeah.
And then I had to go out to a mandatory meeting where you go in, you meet. So what they have is he's actually a battalion chief here in Cedar Rapids for one of our fire stations, and he is the hunt manager. And he's
Okay.
been the hunt manager for like since 2007 when they started it. That's it. So you got to go out. It's about an hour long. And they kind of explain all this. You know what? You're going to get neighbors that are going to get mad because you're shooting their deer Don't argue with them. Remove yourself from the situation and just call the local police department or call me or the DNR. We'll get somebody out there and we'll set them straight and let them know that you can recover your deer. So they kind of break it all down for you. Tell you the rules, how it's got to be. Can't hunt within 50 yards of somebody's property line without having written permission from them.
You had to take a proficiency.
Yeah, that's like you said, I had to take a proficiency test. Our proficiency test is 15 yards, and same thing. You got to hit in a pipe in the kill zone.
Cool.
With 5 shots, you get 5 shots. You can't pull a single one of them. All 5 have to hit within that pie plate or that kill zone of that deer.
Yeah.
And they sign a little slip for you, and you have to turn that in when we go to that meeting. You have to turn in your written permission slips from landowners that have given you permission to hunt. You have to show your bow hunter safety card and
Pass your proficiency.
and then show your certificate that you for that year. Because you got to do proficiency every year.
Okay.
You have to show that signed slip that you passed your proficiency test. So
gotcha.
Yeah, your first hard is the hardest year. The second year, it's pretty much just shooting and going to the class.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back to these numbers here for the giveaway. Nobody picked a number.
Nobody picked
So
it.
if you haven't, I usually do, like I said, that's why I do like closest without going over wins.
Fight rolls.
Yeah. So if you do we want to pick again until you get it? But I just didn't want it to drag on all night. That's why I figured.
pull
I
one
could do that.
out of what you got.
All right. Well, we got number 9.
Number 9. Who's closest?
That's Dawn.
Ooh,
Dawn
she
gets
was
number
7.
9. So here
Yep.
well, you're not gonna win your own prize. So,
No, but I'll take a hat.
Yep. So I'm gonna show you real quick. This is the old school off the hook hat with the cryptic.
Nice.
There is the black with the gray.
Yep, I want that one.
You want that one?
Yep.
There's a gray and a white one, and then there's also a red and white one.
Nope, I like that first one.
You want this one right here? The black and the gray?
The one, the cryptic one.
Oh, you want the cryptic
Oh,
one?
she wants the cryptic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. You want the cryptic one?
No, not that one. That first one you showed.
That was the first cryptic one.
Yeah, that one.
This one?
That's the one. Yes, that one.
Yep.
Okay. So, all right. So Dawn gets this one. I got to write it down on this number. Dawn, the black and gray. Okay. Black and gray. And let's get through this. We're going to do it again. I'm going to pick it again. That's Dawn's hat right there. And then I'm going to get another number here real quick, guys. If you guys are in the chat, hey, if you want to share this out so people can win, I know you probably don't want to share it out because it increases your chances. But we're going to go we're going to do for Dawn and Shawn's gift, the mystery bag that they have sitting there. They got it all decorated up for Christmas and everything. We're going to pick a number from 1 to 25 again. And when I put the go in the chat, then you can pick. I got the number written down. Let me hit the go in the chat and start picking once you see the go.
Okay.
1 to 25. And once you see it in the chat, you can start picking. There you go, guys. Start picking the numbers.
Woo! I was first.
We have a winner already, Dawn.
Are you kidding me?
We have a winner. And it is, because we're going to go through these so it's kind of quickly here. We got Chris City Sticker Chris on the package.
I get a mystery gift. Yeah.
So Chris,
See which one I want to pick for you.
ooh, give him the one. Give him the socks, like the socks or something.
So I think I'll give you this one.
There you go. So City.
Do a mini hex.
There you go. Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Your cord might be a different color, so they either purple, green, or black.
Yep, color coordinated.
And that one's and what is that again? The hex.
This is a scent dispenser.
Okay. Is that taking the beads or can I put real scent in it?
You can put scent wicks in it with 100% or synthetic deer urine, or you can put the 100% or synthetic dabs in it as well. Cotton balls,
Sweet.
whatever you want to use.
You know I'll be using it. At least someone's going to be using it.
Well, that is what you.
That is
out.
perfect.
So-
Thank you. Thank you so
Now,
much.
Chris, what you got to do is just email them your address. We'll do it that way because I got my
I will do
email.
that.
unless you want to email it to me, or if you have their email, do it. But you can email me your address and I'll just send it to Shawn.
Okay,
Do it that way. That way I can send
that's
it.
fine. Unless they just want me to message it, I don't
Yeah,
care.
you can do that too on Jinx'Em if you want.
And
to do that.
Chris, just
Yes,
we've had a few people ask.
yes.
That thread's out. You're just gonna unscrew it. It's all threaded. It's gonna drop down.
Mhm.
And it's got a second set of threads. So you got to further
To fill it.
Okay.
to access it. So
Oops.
there are threads on the top here too.
Some people
So
are
that
trying to
that
pull
lets
it
you
out.
hang it. So
All
once
right.
you get it all threaded in, then you're just gonna hang it like that and it's gonna stay just fine. But to access inside of it, you gotta unthread that second set of threads.
Sweet.
Cool. So we'll do the giveaways and then we'll move on to our second topic and then we'll be done for the night here. So
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
the next one we'll do a hat. We'll do another hat. Okay, guys. So let me hit it. Are you sure? Okay. All right.
I need that red hat, Ted.
Okay, well, you have to pick the number, buddy.
Come on.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
we're
Let's make it underhanded.
okay,
Just
there
give
you
it
go. It should be in the chat. All right, guys, pick a number from 1 to 25. And
Rick,
share-
Rick.
Mhm.
Is this fixed? Let me see.
Share this out. Share this out, please.
What should I
everybody in
do?
the
What
chat.
should I do? What number, Ted? What number should I pick?
Okay. Good luck, Chris.
1 to 25. 1 to 25, and we'll go closest without going over. Will win unless they guess it exactly.
Okay.
I demand the recount.
Oh, I messed up. Can I fix that?
Oh,
I messed up.
why would you?
Hey, that wasn't very nice.
What did you do?
He did
I
the
messed
price
up.
right crap. I said 1, he said 2.
That's not what. Oh well, I'll leave it. That's
that is the price of right. That
Well,
is.
what do you think's gonna happen when you say 1?
Not
I didn't
exactly.
mean it. I meant to put in 22, but I'll keep the 2. I'll keep the
Well, my
2. Sorry.
fishing said my 13.
Oh well,
Hey Sue.
we'll leave
I
it. That
have
way
her-
someone else
her
can win.
address where she
I'm in
is.
on it. I'm in for a hat.
I mean, we could be done by 10:30.
Hi, wifey.
Yeah.
I spelled that wrong.
You guys, would you go?
Jinx'Em Nation 25. Okay, let me. I'm
That's
gonna send this real quick to my.
You want me to
wife
send it to Jinx'Em Nation or no? I'll send it over to their Jinx'Em Scents message.
here. I don't know how to send this to you, Sue.
Send
All right, you guys,
message.
are you
Okay.
guys ready for this number here?
Yep.
All right, the number is 11, and that is Chris Week pick 10. Chris Week pick 10, and this is for the hat. Yes. So Chris, I need you to let me know which hat you want: the cryptic style, the gray and white, or the red and white. So pick a hat and put it in the chat, and then I'll write it on here, and then you will have to email me at my email address up here, and I will send it out to you. Chris Week, you won a hat. Pick the color hat you'd like.
Good job, Chris. Nice guess.
Yeah.
We'll wait
Wrong,
for his.
wrong. You picked the wrong Chris, though.
I
Come
know.
on, Ted.
I know.
Don't let him get the
No,
red
you
one. Don't let him get the red one. I want that one.
I think you're probably just gonna have to send him a red hat.
So Chris,
I'll just pick it up. I'll just pick it up while we're doing that video.
It's a night for Chris. Jason said.
Yeah,
Chris
Chris
Week.
Knight.
Chris Week, you won. Please put it in the chat what color hat you want, buddy.
Dawn, I sent that over to Jinx'Em Scent and Messenger, my address.
He wants the gray and white.
I
Okay.
just seen the notification.
So he's
Okay.
getting the gray and white right here. All right. So that is Chris's, and he's going with the gray and white.
Great.
Gray and white. All right. Now I'm running out of paper.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Chris, for not picking my red one.
Yeah. All right. We got 9 people in here now, so we're gonna still do 1 to 25. We're gonna
Ted
still
and I,
do the,
Ted and I's going up to Edinburgh Lake, and we're going to shoot a video for fishing,
There you go.
and then it's going to be on American Angler.
There you go. American Angler Outdoors Network, or
Yep.
or also it could be on the Backroads Outdoors Network as well.
Which I got to get a hold of Alvin. I still don't see any of my content up.
Okay. I'll actually have to call him too and see, make
Okay.
sure he puts it up there.
Yeah.
So this is going to be for a Jinx'Em Scent mystery bag, guys. And
Woo!
we will put that in the
Yeah.
chat here.
I don't even know what they are.
It'll look fixed if I win again.
So let me hit go.
It's
Once
gonna
I
look
hit
fixed.
Go, yeah, once I hit go, then you can pick.
The next
If one more Chris wins, it's gonna be bad.
I put GP, but that means
GP.
go. That means go. I messed up.
What number do I want?
1 to 25, guys. 1 to I'll pick. Okay, there you go. Chris is picking.
Oh,
again.
somebody picked my number. Let's see.
We got a winner. You didn't even have to.
I
pick,
didn't even
Chris.
get a chance.
You didn't even get a chance. This is for the Jinx'Em Scent mystery bag, and Jason from JJ Drones won. He won number 8.
Oh, way to go, JJ.
So Jason, you won a mystery bag from Dawn and Shawn from Jinx'Em Scents. So
Woo!
if they want to go ahead and show it off, then go
What
ahead.
did JJ win?
Your favorite.
Ooh, my favorite. Feathered Feast seasoning.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so he's getting a little taste of that Heartbush blends, huh?
That's kind of a buttery, garlicky,
Best chicken wings you will
deliciousness.
ever have.
Great on fish, great on chicken. Yeah,
Flavored right.
that is this is my favorite out of all of our seasonings.
That's
Nice.
awesome. And you know, Jason is a truck driver, and guess what he delivers?
Write that down.
What do you deliver?
Chicken.
Chicken.
So that's gonna fit right up his alley. He delivers
Whatever
chicken.
happens.
So
I didn't know he delivered chicken.
he does. I mean, he delivers a lot of other things too, but I think his main thing is the chicken because when I see him, he's always giving me a bunch of chicken breasts and all these different chickens. So that'll fit perfect for him.
Perfect.
Yep.
Those are all the ones that spilled out on the ground.
Yeah.
Hey.
You get them dead.
Yeah, well, the 5-second rule,
Yeah.
maybe 5-minute rule.
All right, we got 2 more hats left, so we got 1 to 25.
Red one's
1
mine.
to 25. Let's see. I got you guys on this one for sure, I bet. All right, let me hit the breakbush chicken. That's what he delivers, the breakbush chicken. So that will be perfect.
Well, JJ, you'll want to try some of that feathered feast on that chicken. You're gonna like it. I'll
Yeah,
guarantee
for
you.
sure. All right, guys. Once I hit the go in the chat, 1 to 25, and this is for another hat. So you can start picking now, guys. Start picking now. We got 14, 17, 12.
Oh, we got a Jay. He picked the same as me. I'll repick.
I'll definitely try. Yeah, that spices are awesome.
I repick.
I love the grill. I like the guns and grills, man. That's one of my favorites. I love that stuff.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Yeah, you like that spicy little bites
Uh-huh.
and stuff.
Yeah, I love it. The hotter, the better.
It don't agree with me anymore.
Yeah.
It's still agreeing with me for now until I probably get older, then I won't be able to eat it. So I'm enjoying it now.
I used to love that hot stuff, but
No.
No,
I got the
tears
delicate
me
cheese.
up too. I'm eating
can't.
omeprazoles after that.
Right?
All right, we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, and the number is 3.
Ooh.
3. That was
So-
my high school football number.
So the only one who didn't go over was Logan from IL Fishing. So
Way to go.
Logan gets to pick the hat. The red and white.
Oh,
Logan,
there's my red hat.
or the cryptic, or the cryptic. Red and white or cryptic, Logan. Let me know.
Fred,
You might be able to swing a deal right there, Logan. IL.
It looks
Oh,
like he's
man.
got multiples of each color though, Chris. So I think.
Yeah,
We'll get you one, Chris.
I
That's-
think I
you
can
come
swindle
on.
one out of him anyhow.
Yeah, you could swindle one out of me for sure. Let's see what his comment is.
Red.
Oh, he said red. Oh, Logan.
Red hat. Okay, that's Logan.
Okay.
Logan, email me your address, bud, again. I know I have it somewhere, but make sure you email me it anyway. All right, there's that hat. Okay, the next one is going to be for the, I'm going to rip this off. It's going to be for the Jinx'Em Scents mystery bag. Let me see.
Last one.
That's the last one on your end, and I have one hat left. So we're going to get through these real quick here, and then we'll get on to our next topic. Hey, what's up,
cranking
James?
and yanking?
Thanks for coming in. So,
Cranking and yanking. Get in on this giveaway, buddy.
all right, so this is going to be for the Jinx'Em Scent mystery bag, and it's going to be from 1 to 25. And I'm going to hit the
Farming,
check mark.
cranking and yanking, get in on this.
Yep, James, get in on it. And Ruger's in here too. So Ruger, make sure you get in on this. We're going to pick 1 to 25. When you see go in the chat, then you know you can start picking 1 to 25. The person closest without going over wins.
Oh,
Got
13,
two
13s
13s there.
13, 13.
Oh.
Pick again.
Quick.
Oh, I didn't pick. I should have picked. That's okay.
Put a number in there,
Put a
kid.
number in.
Yeah, I'll pick my number. That'd be an easy win for me.
You're not allowed to pick what you're kid.
Ooh, let's see here. Okay.
You gotta have Chris Week needs to pick another number.
Chris, pick another number, buddy.
Yep, we got a match. 13, 13.
And that's Chris Week, not City Sticker, Chris.
Oh, I was gonna pick 2 more numbers.
Other Chris.
I want mystery bags, man.
That hex sticks, I got to get me a few of them. I got the drag rag that I used this year. I'm gonna purchase a rope for next year, like for my July when I hang my mock scrapes, because I use that vine all the time. But I want to down camp. I want to hang the rope, so I think I'm gonna get the rope.
We just got all new drags made.
Yep.
Did you?
Yep.
Yep, we sold out. Had to have a bunch more built.
Now, do you color coordinate your drags too? Because I see a couple different
For
colors.
the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the green, pink, and the
Yep.
purple drags. So you
What's
can,
good too, so when you're mixing and matching, you know what's what.
There's Chris.
All right, Chris. All right, 3, 2, 1, and it is boom. James comes in here and just wins it. He just sweeps it out from under all you guys.
Dang.
21. He picked 17. JJ Jones picked 22.
Cranking, yanking.
So James, you won the Jinx'Em mystery bag. So you can email. Let me see. Do I have Jinx'Em's email? I think I have your email here, don't I?
He gets a 3-pound bag of our Fat Racks mineral.
Dude.
And if you
No,
are
that's the
in a state
website.
that you can't use minerals, we can get you something.
Yeah, give
else
us a
to
shout.
let us
We'll
know.
give you something else. It's
Yay me.
yep, same price line. So which is I don't know what we get for those.
10.
James, if you want to just email me and I'll get it over to Shawn and Dawn for you. Just email me. You have my number. Just email it to me and then I'll send it over. And that is the minerals, right, Shawn and Dawn?
Fat Racks original.
Yep.
Minerals,
And
fat racks.
We have flavor too, but this is the original.
Yeah, fat racks, and that's James. I'll
Hey,
put
Ted,
James.
JJ said send him his address too.
Yeah, I will.
I didn't know
Yep,
if you've seen that.
and yanking.
Cranking
I'll
and
send
yanking.
it.
What is it? He said it's Fat Racks mineral. It's mineral.
Yep, it's a mineral.
Cranking and yanking.
And if you don't use minerals, if you don't hunt or something, then I don't know. I think they'll send you something.
And we'll
else.
swap you out with a bottle of seasoning,
Whatever.
a hex stick, a mini hex like Chris won. I mean, whatever. Just give us
Hunting stuff.
Oh,
give it to whomever
he's-
was posting under me.
He says he don't hunt. Give it to someone that hunts.
Fat racks raw. He said give it to some. Or James, you can get seasoning. You can get seed. You can get seasoning.
Yeah, I know you eat, James.
We got
Yeah, he eats.
we got some seasonings too. I know you eat.
Yeah,
you gotta eat. You gotta eat.
We got one more giveaway here, and that's it for that.
Fat racks, Chris Week says.
Mm-hmm.
It does. We do very well. We get lots and lots of praise on our mineral.
Did
I was a
pick that
customer
one?
before we purchased the company.
Yep.
So,
So
I
we knew it was
a
good.
huge believer.
And their harvest blends are awesome, James. So if you would like to pick a seasoning, I'm sure you'll be impressed with that. If you like to eat, if you don't like to eat, then if you want to give it away to somebody, we can give it away. But James, you pick who it goes to. Yeah, I'll send Shawn your address, Jason, for sure. James just came in and just won it out from all you guys.
Yeah. Now he wants to give it away though. I think he should pick a seasoning.
I think he should pick seasoning. You can look at me until I eat. That will be fine, but I really don't have any issue if someone send him the seasoning. James, just send me your address. They'll send you some seasoning.
Yep, we'll pick him out a good sample of one of our seasonings and send it off to him.
Yep, that'll be fine. I'll just put on.
Probably
his
our
seasoning.
number one, our
Chillin' and grillin'.
chilling and grilling is
Yeah.
fantastic on
Steak,
every
venison,
steak. Yeah,
pork,
it's delicious.
chicken, everything.
Come on.
All right. Well, we are going to go for the last cryptic hat here. And then I'm going to hit go in the chat. 1 to 25 again, guys.
There you go, Chris. You got a chance to win that red hat.
I got it. He'll let me swap it. I'll swap it.
No swapping. No swapping.
See, I'll just spray paint it then.
Yeah, no, I'll get you a hat, believe me. All right, we got go in the chat now. There you go. So you guys pick 1 to 25. I got the number. Okay. No winners yet. No winners yet.
When you send me those emails,
No
Yeah.
winners yet.
do you have it wrote down what they won on our side?
I do, yeah. I have the seasoning for cranking and yanking.
Okay.
I have the Chris. You have the JJ drones, the harvest blends, and Chris has got the hex stick.
Okay, perfect.
I guess I should have sent that, huh?
I'm gonna write this hex stick down. No, I'll just put hex stick on here. That's all. I'll put that on there. I didn't write hex stick on yours, Chris, so you wouldn't get anything in the mail.
Right. Right. I see.
He's
how
the only
this
one I
works.
remember because I know him.
No, my dad picked another number, so that's good. We got keep going. How many numbers you picking, Dad? My dad keeps picking numbers till we win, so you just keep picking numbers. I'm going with the 11, Dad. We're going. What? Okay. All right.
Do you spell your hex HECK?
HEX.
Did you get it? Did you get her where she's at?
HEX stick. Okay, I edited my comment to include with my address to Jinx'Em Scents.
Oh, we got a winner. We got a
Put the
winner.
hex stick. Put the hex
Winner,
stick
winner.
under it.
We got a winner. Hit it dead on. Dead on for the cryptic hat. And it is a repeat winner, 19, Chris Week.
Woo!
Hey, Chris, killing it tonight.
What did Chris win?
The
first time?
Chris's. The Chris's are killing it.
What
That
did
was
Chris?
3 Chris's tonight.
What did
Yeah,
Chris
buddy.
win? Don't black
He got
and
the
gray.
he got the cryptic hat.
You got the hat, and didn't he win something earlier though?
He took yeah, he did. What did
I
he
don't
win?
remember what. Did you
What
write
did
it
he
down, Ted?
I'm looking for it. We got I could
Maybe-
have swore he won.
Maybe he got 2 hats.
Oh, he got the gray and white hat. Yeah, he got 2
Yeah.
hats.
Yeah, he got 2 hats now.
Okay. It saves on shipping. That saves on shipping. I like it. I like it.
He got 2 hats.
I like it. Send it to the same address, baby. Woohoo! Save me
Yeah.
$4.50 on the hat. Woohoo!
Now, so would you go lay down?
Chris Week.
Lay down.
Chris Week.
Lay down.
I got a cryptic hat. Cryptic. So he got the cryptic and the gray and white. So he all right.
That,
Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate that. Each and every one of you guys for being in here tonight. Thank you guys for joining me tonight too. I really appreciate you both being in here. I always enjoy talking to you guys.
Yeah. No
All right, so that's
problem.
it for the giveaways, guys. So now we are going to go on to our next topic. Okay,
Oh, another 2 hours. Let's go.
let's go.
Yeah, right on.
Hey, I don't have to pick my daughter up. My wife went to pick my daughter up. We'll go to 4 in the morning, baby. Now we can party. Now we can
Way to
party.
go, Miss Sue.
Yep, she's gone already. She gave me the look though, so she ain't
Oh.
happy. Yeah, she
Oh,
gave
you
me
got the look.
Yeah.
You're
But
toast.
I got the decorations up in front. I put the Christmas tree in the thing. I dumped 2 cans of
Ah.
Sprite. This is a tip for everybody.
man,
I
did you
dumped two cans of Sprite
Sprite.
in the Christmas tree. 2
Really?
cans of Sprite. Let it sit there for about a half an hour. That
Mhm.
Christmas tree will just burst with color.
Really?
Yeah, and then you fill it with water after that. Put the Sprite in. That took 3 cans because I have a real big container. So I put 3 cans of Sprite in there, let it sit for a half an hour. Then I dumped the water and it filled the rest of the way.
Is this a new tip for me for my food plots or what? I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
suppose-
gotta, instead of spraying glycol, you spray Sprite. Okay, you spray or IMOX. This is the new IMOX. Mountain Dew is the new IMOX.
this is how I'm feeding my clover this year. I
Yes,
got to
for
spray him with
sure.
Sprite.
Spray them with. I'm telling you, you want them to grow fast. Hit them with Mountain Dew like mid-season.
Oh, man.
Yeah, It likes the
All
sugars.
right,
Yes.
what's our next topic?
All right. So the next topic is late season tactics.
Gotcha.
We're gonna let Chris go on this one first.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know shit about late season. I'm usually tagged out before then.
Yeah,
Well,
I hear you. But I saved the tag this year.
So we'll let Chris go, but Chris is tagged out though. But we won't go there, Chris. Right?
Right.
won't go there.
Right. I
We
do
won't
have a
go-
doe tag I saved.
Chris got his buck. Right? Do you have a picture of that buck, Chris?
I do.
Let's see
You-
it. I'm
I
putting
do.
on-
Do
Look
you
at him.
really want to see it?
He's sending me text messages right now. You jerk.
You
No, I'm just
really
kidding.
want to see this thing?
Yeah, I
Hey.
want to see it.
When rifle season comes around, all bets are off.
Chris ain't scared to shoot a 30-inch buck.
No.
Hey, that's bigger than the one I shot in Michigan.
Hey,
I love hammering Chris though. So you guys know that. You all know that. Anyway.
Well,
Me and Chris are really good friends.
I like shooting deer like the one in the background there. Let me see if you can see that one.
That's the thumbnail too. I think you're on a thumbnail with that one.
Yeah, it probably is. I like shooting those ones, but archery season didn't pan out this year. I didn't have any real good shooters on camera this year. And so, I went the whole archery season hoping that something would come off of public or something would come off the neighbor's property or something that would surprise the heck out of me. And I would just get a good one. But that didn't happen this year. I did see 3 shooters. None of them came close enough. So,
well, you can tell them the truth too. You didn't have your contacts in and you forgot your guns.
No, the truth of the matter is I misjudged this deer. When they're out there running through the timber and you see antlers flashing and it's like, here comes a buck.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything but a buck tag in your pocket. You're like, screw it. It's 13 degrees. I'm going home. Bang.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but when I walked over there and saw it, I literally said out loud, uh-oh, I messed up.
You texted me. Remember, you texted me, and you're like, "Hey, dude, I'm like, dude, it's a buck, and you get to spend the time with your son now. You're taking
and that was the good portion of it,
there's always good in it.
People here might not know the whole background story, but my boy had severe Crohn's. Go ahead. My boy has severe Crohn's, and he was diagnosed at age 11. Well, he turned 19 this archery season, and he's feeling well enough that I can take him out again now. So we had about I'm going to say probably 9 or 10 sits this year. And he did fine. And he was a trooper. He stuck it out. And it was real nice to be able to reconnect with him and get him out, because he's been basically, sitting the sidelines for 8 years on the couch, not being able to hunt or anything with me. So, I lost my hunting buddy for quite a long time there. And so this year was cool. I got to get him out, and by shooting that buck, I was able to get him going. And we had a good time. And he had some good opportunities, and I don't want to say blew it. He just wasn't ready. He just didn't execute. So it came to rifle season, and I shot that one very early and got it out of the way, and I was able to take him out. So we was enjoying the crap out of it anyhow. So now late season tactics. Here we are.
Go ahead,
So
Chris. You're up the bat.
What I'm doing is I saved that doe tag purposely, and I actually have two different units, and mainly the deer are going to start hitting the food plots hard real soon, because these bucks are worn down and they're tired of running, and they're coming back to some normal routines, starting to anyhow. They're showing back up at places. Right now they're not actually daylighting, but they will soon enough, when the pressure's off. Now that rifle season's over today, in a week or two, they'll start lightening up and coming back around a little bit to the food. And that's going to be my biggest tactic, is hunting my food plots again. See, because I don't the first week of archery, I hunt my food plots so I can kill some does. And then when I get one under my belt, I go to the big woods and I hunt the bucks. I have the big boys are out on the mountain over the river, and that's where I hunt the big guys at. But like I said, it didn't work out this year. So my tactic is I'm going to be hitting the food sources and or hitting some of the leftover oak,
Cool.
the acorns that are out. So
There's still acorns out there.
there is the squirrels are working on them pretty hard right now, and we're having fun watching them. Little suckers. I'd like to shoot them all, but anyhow, they bothering the heck out. But I got some. This is off topic, but I got some really cool squirrels this year. I've got so many black squirrels, so many hybrid squirrels. And what I mean by that is I got black squirrels with white tails. I got this black squirrel down there. It has a white face and has white feet and a white tail. Freaking thing looks like a skunk, you know. But that's off topic.
I'd be popping that and mounting that.
Well, I told my boy, I said, you know, I would like to have a whole mantle with all these hybrid black squirrels all over it. That would be sweet because I got like 3 or 4 different phases of black down there, and I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I think it would be
Need
cool.
6 for what we want, but ours are inappropriate.
You guys eat squirrel? You guys eat it? I don't eat squirrel. My buddy used to make it for me, but I don't eat it anymore.
I like it.
Yeah. Squirrel spaghetti or whatever.
I would eat
sauce and squirrel.
Pressure cooker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to pressure cook them. You got to.
Yeah, I like them in a crock pot.
Yep. Slow cook.
Yep. And then being, but like I was just saying with the boy with the crones, like we buy him grass fed meat from another state, and they stick it in a cooler with dry ice and ship it to us. And I mean, his diet is so strict, it's ridiculous, and it's expensive too.
Oh, yeah.
But I told him, I said, you could be eating squirrel and rabbit. I mean, that would be ultimate for you. And he's like remembering when he was just old enough to hunt, and he's like, Dad, I don't want to mess with squirrels. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I said, but rabbit, you would like rabbit. And I said, you can actually get something off a rabbit, you know, some meat. And yeah, he's thinking about it.
No, it's awesome that you're hunting with your son again. And he got that spark again this year. That's what I told you.
Yeah.
With all joking aside, when you texted me and you said that you were disappointed with your deer, and I tried to pull that positive out of there, and I was like, Chris, now you can hunt with your son, and you can just focus on.
I mean, that was the plan, but that deer thing was just disappointing. But yeah,
chalk it up and move on.
It was cool tonight though, because we was coming out of the public land, and we was driving away, and I'm like, buddy, I'm sorry we didn't get you a deer this year, you know. And he's like, Dad, he's like, I thank you for taking me out this year. And I was like, wow, I was blown away, you know. I got some cool kids, I do.
Yeah,
my kids are good kids.
That's what it's all about, no matter if you get a deer or not. Dude.
He thanked me about it, and you know, and I was like, that's all I needed, you know. I was blown away.
Him with the crones, because I know all too well about that.
Really? Yeah. He's a trooper though. He never complains. The kid can hardly eat anything. He's like Dave's Killer Bagels with some kind of natural peanut butter. He makes pizza off of the Killer Bagels. He puts red sauce and cheese on it and bakes them in the toaster oven. So like his diet is like bagels and meat.
Bagels and meat.
I'm serious. I mean, like that's all he eats, like chicken, beef.
Well, what is the reason, if you don't mind me
chicken
asking,
beef.
what is the reason that you only can eat certain things for the Crohn's? Does that like flare it up somehow or something? Or
Yeah, it really messes with his colon.
Okay.
Yeah, his colon. Like your colon is supposed to be like almost like a grunt tube, you know, one that you can expand and contract. You know, it has the ribs in it.
Yeah.
And his colon, he was so gassed up all the time, so pressurized that they said his colon was like a balloon and smooth on the inside. And what that does is when it gets smooth spots like that, that is scar tissue, and the nutrients can't absorb back and forth through that colon. You know, so he just had so much urgency all the time. Like he would jump off the couch and run for the bathroom. Half the time he was messing his pants, you know? And for a
Yeah.
teenager not to be able to eat what you want and having accidents and stuff, I mean, I felt so bad for this kid. And then Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, this freaking nurse, I wanted to choke her to death. She wanted us to pull his colon out and put him on a bag the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's
And
not cool.
I was like, there's no way in hell I'm doing that, you
Yeah.
know, over my dead
Not that
body,
yet.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
I was
that's
like-
like last resort stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
she wanted to do this to him now when he was like 14. She was on us and on us and on us and on us. And I was like, lady, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
I said, when he turns 19 and he decides it's for him, okay.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah.
wants to do it to himself, that's fine. But
Yeah.
we're not going that route. So my wife contacted this, I don't even know what you call them, these natural pathologists or whatever. And we went with all this natural stuff. It's like freaking tree barks and all this other stuff. I don't even know what it all is. But the dude, he turned around and he's on his fourth big pharmacy medicine, which they finally found when it is helping him with his urgency. It's called Rinvoq. You see commercials on TV about it for eczema and stuff, but this stuff somehow controls his urgency. So like if he has, like if I take him hunting and he says he has to go to bathroom, he's like, dude, he's like, Dad, I can wait. I'll
That's
be
good.
fine. He's like, I'll be fine till we get home. Don't worry about it. You know, because I
Good.
keep telling him if we got to go, we go. You know,
Yeah.
we'll climb down and get out of here. I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for years the wife was fighting me to take him out and stuff. She's like, hey, you can't go out, you know. Because he's down to like one bathroom visit a day, but when he goes, he's in there. He's stuck in there for like an hour, you know.
Gotcha.
So
Poor kid.
yeah, but he's been
Old.
such a trooper, man. Such a trooper. He's such a good kid.
Cool.
And I'm just
Speaking about bark, and I don't mind to interrupt you. I got a video today from a guy, Gary from Jailbait and Tackle, and he said, "Hey, can you come up with it? Can you see what this is?" And it was a tree, and it looked like it was rubbed by a deer.
okay.
Well, it was a squirrel scraping the bark off the tree and taking it up to make a nest. And he was like, "Have you ever seen that before?" And I said, "Yeah, a squirrel will do that, and also a porcupine will eat the bark off trees. And a lot of people think they're buck rubs, and they're actually a porcupine that eats the bark, and the squirrels will do that." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." And he sent me the video of a squirrel scraping all the bark, and it looks just like a buck rub. And a lot of people, I've seen it on TV, like people posting, and they're like, "Oh, look at this buck rub," and then you can tell it's a squirrel, or it's like you got the bite marks from the porcupine, and people are posting that it's a buck rub, and you sort of want to say something like, "That's not a buck rub, that's another animal making that." But Gary asked me that, and I told him, no, the animals will do that. Squirrels will do that, and porcupines will do that. I just wanted to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is that all you have for the your late season tactics, Chris? We can move on with Shawn and Dawn on their late season.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent there.
That's okay.
Oh,
That's
good,
okay.
honey.
You want to keep going? You're more than welcome to keep going.
No, I mean that's basically it. I'm gonna
Okay.
load up the flintlock, the old TC, and I'm gonna try to whack one with it. And then
The old smoke
if I
pole.
do that, what I might do, I mean, this season, like I was saying earlier, like I got burned out on the filming and stuff, and basically this season's like a reset for me. I wasn't filming because I was burnt, and I wanted to drop back and do a flintlock hunt, shoot a doe with the flintlock, and then if I get it done with the flintlock, guess what I'm dragging out? I'm dragging out the old recurve.
Nice.
I'm gonna slay one with the recurve. That was what I killed my first deer ever with in PA.
Recurve.
Yep.
Nice.
Before I ever shot one with a gun.
That's before you went to the woods, hoods to the woods.
From the hood to the woods.
All right, Shawn, Dawn, you want to explain or give us any kind of late season tactics that you guys do, or any tricks of the trade that you guys have?
What are you going to be doing?
Well,
on Christmas?
what I'm going to do, I mean, right now in Iowa, we can't bow hunt during our shotgun season. So I'm shut down right now until the 23rd. I can get back in the woods with archery. And then I've got, like I said earlier, I said till January 10th. Honestly, with me, I'm stuck. I'm on public ground. So there are a few food plots out there, but they're kind of few and far between. We flooded this spring real bad, which kind of killed all of our food plots. The DNR did get in there and plant some stuff a little bit later. So there's a little bit out there. There's a radish field that I know of. And I think they've got another, might be same thing. It might be radish, turnips. I haven't actually checked that field this year, but the last couple of years they've had radishes in there. But the problem is on that public ground is those deer are not, and they will not come out into those radish fields now until probably after season's over. You might catch a young one maybe sneaking out in there after everything slows down and as we talk, pressure subsides. But we will have still people out there hunting. We'll have our late split bow hunters, and then we've got our late muzzleloader that all runs simultaneously from the 23rd of December till January 10th. So there'll still be some pressure on those deer out there a little bit. I'm going to be getting back in the timber myself. Again, I've got a couple of mocks that always, and I've always been tagged out. So this year, I guess I'm going to get to find out how well I can do getting in without buggering the deer out of there. But the last few years, about the 26th, 27th of December, I start picking bucks up, and generally a lot of them are daylighting, even my big boys, and I'll start picking them up again in, from the 26th, 27th of December right through January. So in years past, I've just sat back and like, oh, got a nice buck out on the river bottom mock. But like I said, I'm tagged out, so no sense in even, going out. So I'm just monitoring them at that point. So that's going to be my deal. I'm going to get in here, like I said, about 3-4 days before our second shotgun ends, which will probably be around the 19th, maybe of December here. I'm going to get them. I'm going to freshen up all those mocks. I'm going to use everything because you're going to have fawns. Some of those fawns, you'll see some of them. It's like I just saw a picture the other day. Guy posted a picture of a fawn, still had spots and all, and pretty small.
Wow.
So that doe obviously got bred late.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some fawns, although they're gonna be few and far between. You are gonna get a sporadic fawn here and there that's gonna pop into estrus. That's kind of what I'm banking on. I hate to say I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, but for me, this time of year and what I've got available to hunt, it's public ground. So I'm going to get back in on my mocks. I'm going to freshen them up again, like I said, on the 19th. I'm going to sit back and probably monitor those for a little bit. And I'm hoping that come, end of December that I start picking up some daylight shooter bucks that are coming in and checking things out. And then that'll be it. Then I'll make my move and I'll get in there and start putting some time in the seat. And just kind of keep the fingers crossed and hope that maybe I can't get a run in with one of my good ones out there. I do have a couple if they make gun season.
Yeah.
I do have like 3 out there that are worth shooting. A couple of them are definitely over 150. I got one that's probably upper 140s. I don't think he'll go 150, but he's a nice 10. I'll shoot him this late in the year. And then I've got 2 others in there that are well into the 150s. That one's probably pushing 160. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's tough this time of the year, especially for a public ground hunter. It just they pound the crap out of that public ground out there. So those deer they're going to be pretty skittish. They're going to be pressure's just high on them right now. In this next 9 days, like I said, second shotgun opened today. They got 9 days. So the next 9 days, they're going to have pressure on them pretty hard. And that'll be it. So it'll be fingers crossed going in, freshening those mocks back up, hoping that I get what I've been getting the last 3-4 years. That deer are coming in after gun seasons and visiting late December into January, and hope I can connect with one. That's where I'm at with, food source. So like Chris said, I mean, it's food source time. Might be able to set up, and we'll see how it's going. I do have a one stand got set up right now that's in between bedding and in those radish fields. So I may end up putting a couple of days in on that too, maybe see if I can't just catch something that's coming back and forth. But My biggest problem is I'm a big buck hunter, so I'm looking for a specific deer. So, you know, I might see a bunch of little dinker bucks and some doe, but for me, it's going to be tough to fill that archery tag this year, just because, like I said, I've got 3 deer that I know were alive. Again, you know, a gun season goes, 1 or 2 of those, maybe all 3. You never know, might get popped. So
But that's what's good about having the scrapes out there too. You can still get an inventory on them too as well to see what's alive. You know.
Yeah, and like I said, that's my favorite time, other than the main rut of running mocks, is after season to pick up what's still alive, because they'll visit. They're going to come in, they'll check it out. And all I need is one picture after January 10th. But, hey, now.
He wants to be in the spotlight, or she wants to be in the spotlight. She moved that camera right to it.
That's
awesome.
He's our big 115-pound lab.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a brute.
So yeah,
Do you guys have corn right next to you?
No.
Do you have some farming next to where you live?
Ag.
You got it. No, we're in the city, so you got to get kind of out. And that's the funny thing about Cedar Rapids. Literally, it's city, and then it's farm ground.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally, the farm ground butts right up to our city, all the way around it.
So do you hunt any of it? Do you hunt any of that? No.
It's hard to get permission.
Okay.
It really is anymore. Most people paid hunting only. The farms that do give you permission, the problem of that is that I'm nobody out of nowhere, Iowa, and knock on this farmer's door, and he's, oh, sure. Everybody that knocks on that farmer's door and asks for permission, he lets go out there.
Right.
So I've literally found that, and I've had 3 different private ground farms that I've gotten permission on since I moved here in 2010. And I literally seen more hunters on that private ground than I seen on my public.
Huh.
And I end up always going back to my public because I'm seeing more deer and less hunters. So that's kind of where it's at. Like I said, permission. I just
wondered because you see these TV personalities and they're like, oh, Iowa, land of the giants, blah blah blah, you know, and I get it. The big ones do come from Iowa, some of them, and I knew a gal that lived in Iowa and she was living here for years, and she said, man, the deer that come out of there are just huge, you know, and I was like, yeah, I get it, you know, and then. You know, you guys are talking city deer, and I'm thinking, holy crap, they got to be near corn somewhere, because she said that place is nothing but corn.
Yeah, it is, but the problem with us here, in I'll say it, and I've been saying it for years, and some people argue with me, and that's because they've got good private ground that they're hunting, so they're seeing plenty of deer. But I'm going to tell you right now, and you've probably seen maybe some posts on Facebook too from guys from Iowa. They've ruined our state. They've ruined it. They literally have ruined it. I used to have 8, 10. God, I probably had as many as 15. 140 or better bucks that I'm after. I'll shoot any one of them 15 that step in front of me. You know, the biggest one might be a 180, but you know, I've got a 10-point who's a mid 140s. I'm kind of that 140 or better kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But I passed those 140s and 150s, you know, to sit back waiting on some of those bigger ones that I'm on to. But now this year, literally, I've got 3 bucks. That's 3, and none of those 3 are what I would consider an Iowa giant. I've got a 12-point. He's pretty nice, but he's probably in the upper 150s. I don't think he's going to hit 160, maybe, but he's real close. But the other, I've got another 9-point in there he's probably 152, 153. He's going to be right there in them low 150s. And then I've got another 10 in there that might go 150, but I don't think he's going to quite make it. So
yeah,
I've seen the difference over the years. They just been hammered on, and like I said, people argue and they get all mad at me and think that I'm whatever, but they've been piss pounding our dough, and they've been doing it for way too long. Our numbers on public ground are are bad. They're really bad. You can sit out there 3-4 days straight, all day sits, and not see a single deer. And these are places that I used to see 300 deer in an all day sit in just one day.
Oh boy.
And now you sit there 3-4 days and don't even see a single deer. So
Whew.
they have ruined parts of our state. I don't want to say that it's all messed up, because I've got buddies that are hunting private that are still getting good numbers. The thing of it is, though, is they're not in there hammering on the doe. You know, these guys are going out and saying, oh, geez, dude, I seen 30 doe tonight and like 15 different bucks. And it's like, man, you know, must be nice. But, you know, you go on the public and that's a problem. You know, there's not a lot of, it's hard to get on property out here anymore. So people have reverted to the public. And you know, I hate to even say this too, but like some of those pages like Hunting the Public, they've kind of hurt our public ground a little bit, because it's just tuning people in that, hey, Iowa public ground's got some really big bucks running on it. You know, you
Right.
won't hunt the private. You can go on Iowa public ground and there's giants, and there is, and there still is.
Right.
But the numbers are just way down now. So instead of chasing 8 to 10, 12, 15 different bucks in a season, like I said, this year I picked up 3 that were what I consider, actually 4. The one there I missed second morning of early muzzleloader, and I haven't seen that buck since. So that's it. But so yeah, that's kind of where Iowa's at. I've got a couple buddies that have been putting in for points, and I told them this year, don't even try. Don't even draw for your tag this year, because numbers are bad. And I'd hate to, and it's expensive. It's like $750 to draw a tag here in Iowa. Plus, you got to buy those points for $65 a point for 4 years prior, 4 or 5 years prior. So, you know, it's not even a problem for a guy to get $1,000 wrapped up into just getting that tag by the time he draws it. And it's like, God, I'd hate to see you come out here, buddy, and spend all that money. You know, maybe wait another year, maybe even 2, and let's kind of see what happens and what the DNR decides that they're going to do.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of complaining coming out of from the hunters here in Iowa. Harvest numbers are down. They're trying to say they're down like 5%. I think they're down a lot more than that, but it is what they're saying. But yeah, like I said, we're not the Iowa of old. I mean, it's literally the reason that I moved here, because Michigan did the same thing. They just hammered all the deer. My kids got old enough to deer hunt. I started taking them out deer hunting after a week of sitting in the woods and not seeing a single deer. My kids do not hunt. They're not hunters. They just don't, because they just, you know, back then it was like, Dad, I don't know how you can go out and sit in the woods for 6-7 days straight and you don't even see a deer. How do you do it? And it's like,
It is tough.
Yeah, it's tough to do that, man.
And you show to get that shot, you know, but when you're dealing with 12 and 13-year-old kids, you know, they got to see deer. They have to.
Yep.
And if they're not seeing deer, they lose interest in it very quickly. And they'd rather go home and I'll go back and play on my computer and shoot moose and elk and deer and everything else on my computer. You know, rather go out and sit out there in a tree stand waiting for a deer to show up that may or may not show up. So that was literally why I moved out of Michigan and came to Iowa, was because of the deer hunting. And they've kind of done the same thing to us here in Iowa. And I know, and it's not even Iowa. I know it's all across the country. They've been just hammering the doe. I don't know what the big kick is about getting rid of all these doe and how they think that it's helping matters any. And they want to introduce kids into the outdoors. And it's hard to introduce a kid to the outdoors when you take that kid out and he's not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're talking about drones on there. Yeah, I have a Mini 4. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have a Mini 4 drone, and it's a Mini 4 Pro, and I am a pro because I need my 401k plan license to fly it for YouTube, and that's a joke. 401k plan. There's a name for the license that I got to get. I haven't got it yet, but I have to get that to put it on my channel. Jason will get a laugh out of that because I call it a 401k.
I think it's
Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt
107
you
or something.
Yeah, Carl,
No, I
wanted to say one thing real quick, Chris. Trey is in here, my good buddy Trey from GNRF. Thank you for coming in tonight. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier, But thank you for coming in, buddy. I hope all is well with you and your family. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I was just interested in hearing that, how they're doing over there, because, you know, I listen. I'm intrigued because I said it was 107. JJ said, yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I wish I would see that caliber deer and be able to pass them up and waiting for something bigger. I mean, that's just not what I have here. You know, I was lucky, I thought, to get that one back there. You know, that's pushing the 140 inches there, you know, and that's best buck I've ever shot or seen, for that matter, you know. And I've shot some ones that are close to that, but, you know, a lot of them aren't.
PA
I
too,
tell
Chris.
everybody too, because you know as well as I do, the size of the bucks is relative to where you live.
Correct.
Sure.
Correct.
So
Correct.
when I lived in Michigan, my whole deal was I found the biggest buck that I had available to me to hunt.
Yeah.
And that was the buck that I went after.
Right. Right.
That's kind of my advice to a lot of guys. They're like, well, God, Shawn, we don't have those big 160s, 170s here in Florida, you know, or Georgia.
Right. Right.
It's like, that's fine. You know what? Look, just start looking at your older age class deer. Just you know, go after those bigger deer, the biggest deer that you have.
Yeah.
I mean,
which could be a 120. It could be a 125 as long as it's the biggest deer there.
120 is average. I mean, you know, that's a good deer here. 120.
yeah.
You know,
But like
and that's
Michigan, where I come from. Same thing. A 125, a 130-inch buck. You pulled into the gas station, and everybody and their brother was gathering around your truck. Oh my God, he's a buck! You know, and you brought that buck out here to Iowa, and people wouldn't even give it a second look. They'd be like,
right,
hey, got a little one, you know.
Well, see, here's where I'm going with it. You know, we do that podcast, and it comes out every Sunday at 5, and we had a viewer comment and said, you know, I'm not going to watch this podcast anymore because you guys don't shoot 200-inch deer.
But that's the standard nowadays.
And I'm like,
you ain't nothing until you do that.
I'm like, holy smokes, what is this dude smoking? You know,
I live in Iowa, and I've never killed a 200-inch deer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I've seen them. Ain't never killed them.
Well, see, we have an introduction before the podcast, and it says, you know, this guy and me, and we're talking about all things related to deer and turkey hunting, and, you know, and we have a disclaimer, we're not experts and blah, 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 you know, we're just two average guys giving information. And, you know, the guy I do it with, he does consulting, and we do food plot videos and things, and you know, we've both shot some decent deer. He shot some ones bigger than me, and that's fine. I don't care. But this viewer says, man, I'm not watching this crap no more. You guys don't shoot 200-inch deer. And so we had to have a podcast and rebuttal that and tell them, you know, hey, we're just two average guys just trying to help you do better. And as we try to do better, you know, that's what we're here for, to share in the community. Yeah. And this dude was trolling us, man. And I was like, that's lame, you know.
Well, if you're looking in the industry now on TV, like TV, it's a 200 or bust.
Yeah, I mean, the celebrity hunters, that's silly though. I mean,
they kind of ruined it.
They've ruined it, and the bad part of it is a lot of them is like these Iowa farmers somewhere that only let certain people on, and they'll be calling up Lee and Tiffany and saying, hey, I got this 180, come shoot it and film it and advertise.
Well, you got those spook spans and all that stuff that I've heard on like Hunter podcasts and that'll go and they'll offer these people tons of money.
Yeah.
To shoot that deer and just let them shoot it. You know
it ruins it for us. You know?
So it's a business, you know, deer hunting is a business.
Yeah.
And you know, they have to do that, and I prefer to go shoot a 120 on my own, and that's it, and I'm happy.
I mean, if I can shoot 120 or 130 here, that's saying something, but to those guys, I guess it's not, you know. But if they could come hunt with me and shoot something bigger, let them show me how. I doubt they're going to do it, but I'd like to see it.
Is that they're not going to be able to because that caliber of deer doesn't exist.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
the number one way to shoot a 200-inch deer,
You gotta have one.
Property that has a
You've got to
200-inch
have
deer.
one. That's been my biggest complaint. You know,
You
guys
can't
are
hunt
saying
ghosts.
you can't you don't shoot 200s. Well, you have to have a 200 before you can shoot it. You know, and I don't have them, so.
And
But yeah,
hunters aren't
And
gonna kill
right, like
200
Don
inch.
said, your average hunter that hunts. I mean, I remember the first big buck I shot in Michigan when I was a kid, 1987. I shot an 8-point that scores probably 115 inches. And my buddies and their dads and everybody, my dad and all of his buddies, oh man, you better get that thing mounted. You might never even see a deer that big in your life again, you know?
Yeah.
right.
That didn't settle well with me. That was actually the whole thing that motivated me to become the hunter that I am. Like, I'm not going to be happy if I don't never see another deer that big again in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now looking at that deer, he's small. He's a small deer. But like I said, it's relative to where you live. I got buddies that are in Florida that are killing 110, 115-inch deer, and those are giants.
Right.
Yeah.
A 115-inch whitetail in Florida where my buddies are at, that's the equivalent of shooting a 180-inch deer up here in Iowa. I mean, it literally is. That deer's 7.5, 8.5 years old, but he's only got a 115-inch rack on his head. Well, he's from Florida. You know,
Mhm.
I'm shooting a 7.5, 8.5-inch deer up here, and he scores 160. It's all relative to where you live, and
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
that's
Genetics, relative where you live,
I
age,
agree.
class of
that's
the
what
deer.
bothers me. I think about a lot of where the industry is going, is that it's all about who's got the bigger swang. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is. And it sucks because it's like, you know what? Back when, and Chris, you know what? Maybe not you so much, Ted, because you're a little bit younger, but you probably still do, honestly. Where when gun season opened up and you went out and you killed a 6-point, all your buddies and everybody's like, hey, congratulations, nice job. Heck yeah, that's cool. And now
Yeah.
you shoot a 6-point.
You're
And
shamed.
You get shamed.
You don't even want to post it to social media because
You
know
get
what's gonna
shamed. Yeah.
Well, if you watch, and I watch Chris Brackett a lot, and he was just talking about that. People on social media, they're going to put out their chest and show the big deer. That old school deer camp vibe is gone. You know what I mean? Like people that go down and shoot that 7-point with the pencil rack, and they're happy about that. In the back of the truck, they show that deer. Now they're putting it out there, turning it, making it look bigger, like putting it out to the camera, all the trickery and all that to make it look better, to boast on social media. And he was challenging people, and he was like, how about just do the old school deer camp way, go out, shoot that 7-8-point and take a picture in the back of your truck laying there like it used to be. You know what I mean? Like that kind of vibe. But the hunting industry is just going to that. It's a money maker now. You
Bigger's
got a
better.
big butter, and then people want to put their brands on that. Like, what did you shoot it with? What broadhead? What arrow? What bow? What hunting clothes did you have on? What were you using? Even what scent were you using? What kind of hat did you have on? Did you have ozonics? Did you have a deer blind? And they just put everything
Now
on.
I can throw on a pair of blue jeans and a t-shirt and go climb up in my tree and whack a giant.
In a flannel shirt, you know what I mean, with a flannel shirt on.
I mean,
Like
And
that.
then the next thing you know, you're underneath a lady's window while she's washing dishes. That's what I did.
Yeah. Well, I know my late season tactics. I'm going to Florida the day after Christmas and going bass fishing. That's my late season tactic.
Oh my.
That's my late season tactic because I'm tagged out. So, but I do have a doe license, but I'm waiting until it gets warmer out. I'm not going out and it's cold for a doe. I'm waiting until it gets warmer out, and then I'm going to go out and shoot a doe. But back to me, I like the mock scrapes right now, but then food is key. It's king right now. My buddy's in Ohio. If anybody wants to know about Ohio, he's down there right now on our bait piles and on our feeders, and he had a shooter 8-point come in for his son this morning. They weren't in there because they were out in the evening for the food. Right now, it's a little sporadic. The deer are unpredictable right about this time, like Shawn was talking about. You got to be in the stand to get them, but right now you focus towards that evening food right now, and I still think that second that deer, we lost them. That second rut still has them unpredictable. I still think right now they're hard to pattern. So I would say your best bet is probably getting on food, putting a camera out, seeing what's happening, and get back on food. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm banking on them to keep hitting my her phone died.
Yeah.
I'm banking on the food plots to bring them in for late season. If that don't work, I guess I'll just start concentrating on the oaks, you know,
Yeah.
and I'll just hit them old school.
Yeah.
You know, basically just sit and wait. That's all you could do. Shawn's going to come back with his phone.
Oh, okay.
She said.
All right, cool. So I won't say, okay, Don, thank you for stopping in.
Yeah.
I'll let him come back. But I got to get, if she's listening right now too, I don't think I have their address. Skydio. Yeah, Skydio was my drone I was going to get for my channel because it was the perfect drone with the little beacon that could follow me around. But the Mini 4 is my drone now. So, but I got to learn to fly it first before I get it. I get too nervous to fly it. But yeah, late season tactics. We will wait. Okay, yeah, late season tactics for me would be the scrapes again, hitting the scrape. And now I'm just saying the scrapes now because of that second rut and everything.
I'll tell you what.
I don't hunt them scrapes late in the season.
I don't
really. I haven't, but I'm going to start doing it.
I mean, I have a camera on them because they don't really do much with the scrape. But what I did do is hung vines. In the last couple of weeks, I hung last couple months here, I hung some vines up because I had those scrapes out, and yeah, the scrapes went dead during that chasing and rut phase and stuff. They went dead for a while. So what had happened was I figured out that my overhanging licking branches were hanging. But when the leaves came off, the branches were lifting up so high that the deer couldn't reach them. Yep. So I went down in my woods and I cut vines and I drilled a hole through the top and put 2 zip ties through it and went out and zip tied them up so that they were hanging low enough. And man, my cameras turned to fire when I got those branches back down where they could reach them. Yeah. Man, everything was hitting them from fawns to bucks, everything, man.
Well, that's like that vine on mine.
It just turned to fire, man.
You seen what that vine did with mine. I put that mystic on that vine, and those bucks hit it all season. They're probably down there right now hitting it. You know what I mean? But I got a couple product reviews that I got to do with cameras from iZeeker and from my the Cam Park. I got to go down there and throw a camera up. I may go down tomorrow. If it's raining, it's supposed to warm up a little bit tomorrow and start raining and sleet. I might sneak in there, put the camera up on that scrape, hit it with a little bit of mystic, maybe dump a few more dabs in the ground, maybe scrape it up a little bit to get that fresh earth scent again. Scrape it, dump the dabs in, hit the vine, and get out of there and let that camera simmer for about a week, and then I'll get an inventory because there was a nice 8-point and a nice 10 there. And
let me show you.
The 10-point got chased off by another buck this year after the season, after I was done, and I didn't get him on camera. I just got his body and the rack, and I can't figure out what it was, but it did chase the big 10-point away. So I'm thinking he's even bigger. I'm hoping, or at least older.
I'll show you one I got the other morning. Now it came in nocturnal because there's pressure.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting pictures of hunters and stuff, but this is a picture of what came into my scrape. Let me blow it up here so you can at least see it. This is the boy that came to my scrape.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good buck.
That's a good PA buck right there.
Oh yeah, it is.
He came right into my scrape, and I'll take it out so that you can see what's around it. Oh, I gotta get it in there. But right over top of them is an overhanging branch there. And I was there. I took the boy there last Saturday, and of course I freshened it up. I dug it all out. You know, I scraped all the leaves aside and put some scent in it and stuff, and put the licking branch preorbital up there and things, and they're still coming. I'm getting pictures there every night, and sometimes it's just doe, you know. But that communication's key. You got to keep something coming back to that so that it don't go dead, you know.
And you can keep those. They kind of will turn. A lot of I've had with my scrapes is they turn into community scrapes.
Mhm.
So all the deer are busy. Anytime they're passing through there, they're going to stop. They might
Yeah.
not paw that scrape, but almost 100% of the time they'll work that licking branch and bite on it and leave their scent that way.
Right.
And off they go. It's like, oh, he never urinated in it or didn't paw it. But
Mhm.
I get more activity on my licking branches than I do on the actual scrape itself.
I just thought of something. Okay. New subject, if I can, if Ted don't mind.
I don't mind.
And I've never seen this, so I want to see if either one of you fellas have. Have you ever had a doe actually come and urinate or rub urinate in your scrape?
Yes.
I have never had it. Never
I
had
don't
it.
know.
I've got a good picture of a doe squatting
Good night,
right
Jason.
down. She's literally squatted right
Thanks for
down,
coming,
right on
buddy.
that scrape, urinating
Right.
right in it.
I've had them around the scrape, just passing through or whatever, and I caught a picture of them squatting, but I never had one actually visit the scrape and actually urinate in it or rub urinate right in my scrape. I've
Yep.
never had a picture of that.
Yep. I've got not a bunch, but probably I've been running mocks for years, but actually with cameras, honestly, real hardcore, probably since about 2012, got into the cameras. A lot of, before that, you're just building your mocks. You go out and see it's tore up. Oh, yep, I got deer visiting, but you have no idea what it is back in the old days. So probably since 2012, I probably only got 4 or 5 doe that I actually have that are literally squatting and urinating in the scrape.
Okay.
A lot of time, but they're the ones, honestly, that work that licking branch in that more than I get a lot of times with bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get a lot of pictures of the does hitting the licking branch too. I've got a ton of pictures this year, and I should have posted some more. And that's what I might do now that the season's closed and I got some time on my hands. I might go back and take some of my SD cards out and just start posting some pictures and tagging and that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, I had a ton of pictures this year, and
I mean, yeah, I've got here a couple of years ago, we had a bunch of snow in January, like 3 feet of snow on the ground. Went out, brand new scrape there. I set up a new one along the edge of this cornfield, picked over cornfield, and I had to kick the snow 3 feet of snow out of the way, big old hole in the snow, and juiced her all up, put my camera on it, and come back in a week later, and holy God, I was like, oh my God, look at all these deer coming in here. Yeah, so they'll hit them all year round pretty much. And like I said, I kind of slow down. We get into March, April, May, June. I kind of slow down.
yeah,
But then mid-June, late June, maybe 1st of July, then I'm starting to fire all them scrapes back up. My urban scrapes here in town, I keep them running all year round just because they're nice. They're right here close to the house. I can monitor them. I can freshen them easily.
yeah.
And honestly, I do it for advertisement just to show people that, hey, deer will hit scrapes all year round.
Yep.
Don't think that, granted, you know what? They're going to slow way down come March, April, May, and June. They're going to slow almost to, you might go in after a week and you've got 5 deer that showed up on that, but I keep them going and then they start picking back up, when that time of the year starts rolling in. Boom, all of a sudden here they come. They remember those scrapes. And a lot of times I might pick that buck up. I might pick him up in April when he's just got, little nubs on his head. And you got a pretty good idea with markings and that who he is. And then all of a sudden, you don't see him for 2 months. And then, oh, there he is. He's back. That guaranteed. That's his. Look at the facial markings and what he's got. Yep, that's that same buck. Here he is now. It's September and he's back. But he was gone most of the summer, maybe popped in once a month, and just to let you see, hey, here, I'm still here. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've done the same. I've had,
that's
last
that buck
year
right there. That 10.
Oh yeah, hitting that vine.
Yep.
I mean, last year I had a different urine company that was giving me urine to try, and they had a couple products, and a couple of them didn't even work. But the one that did work, I took it out in May and June and started opening up scrapes, and they out of curiosity they started hitting them. you know.
Mhm.
So even with an inferior product, they'll still hit it.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
yeah.
the-
Oh yeah.
that's the 8, I believe, right there. Yeah, that's the 8.
Is that
That's
your Auburn buck or is that in Ohio?
that's right by my house.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good Pittsburgh deer.
that's the 8 point that came in after I shot my 9 point, and then that 10 point came in after that 8 point. But then there's a bigger buck to chase off the 10 point that I didn't get on camera. I got the body with the rack, but I didn't get a good picture of him. So that's why I want to get out there, put another camera out there, one of my product review cameras, put it out there, see how it does, and then get an inventory for next year, man. But I'll be doe hunting over there as well. So hopefully I lay eyes on him again. So
Well, I'm gonna with
You gonna
this
get
downtime too. I'm gonna get out and take down a couple of stands that are on public, so
Yeah.
nobody gets any sticky fingers.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah. Same
I
out
will-
here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take down some of my public stands because I'm done. I'm not gonna shoot a doe way back there. It's too much work.
Why
I'll shoot.
can you leave them in all year round?
I can leave them in 2 weeks after season.
We get we get a
and then
week.
they have
We
to
get
be
7
out.
days.
Yeah,
Yep, we
we
get
get-
7 days.
We got
7
2
days
weeks.
prior to opener, we can hang them, and 7 days after close, we have to pull them.
Yeah, we got to pull them 2 weeks after season, and I'm gonna get them out a little bit early because, like I said, I'm getting pictures of people walking by,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get them out of there. But while I'm there, I'll freshen up the scrapes and leave, and then every once in a while I'll go back and freshen them so that they're there year round. But yeah, those
Yep.
stands are coming out.
Trey has
'cause
a question.
it's too deep for me to go in there and try to hunt for a doe. I'm not working that hard for a doe. It's a mile and a quarter back.
Right.
I can shoot doe in my backyard, you know?
Exactly. Make it easy. Getting too old for that.
Yeah, screw it.
Trey
That-
asked if they're migratory or where do they go in the off season. I'm assuming he's talking about the deer.
The deer.
Yeah.
They'll
They're
go.
not-
Mine, mine stay pretty tight. They might herd up if we get a little bit of if we get a bunch of
Right.
snow. You'll
Right.
get them to herd up a little bit. But honestly, on my public ground that I hunt, those deer will stay in there pretty much all winter. They really don't go too far at all. I mean, they're surrounded by farm ground too. So the public I hunt is literally the river bottom. But once you get out of that river bottom, it's all farm country all the way around. So those deer that's where they live. They really don't go anywhere. Like I said, you'll see them herd up a little bit if you get a bunch of snow just to help each other out to get food better, But other than that, yeah, they kind of stay where they're at.
Yeah, if they got food, cover, and water, they're staying in that area.
Yep.
Yeah, I got down here off the edge of my property on the next property. I got a real thick patch of pines for some good thermal cover, and they love to just lay in that all day. And then right before dark, you can pretty much set your clock by it. 10 minutes before dark, here they come marching up through my little kill plot, heading for the destination. And
and I noticed too on my public ground over there that they'll you'll see them in one field for a week, and then the next week they're in the next field over, and then the week later they're in the next field over. So they're just following the food as they clean up one field. It might be a picked over cornfield or a bean field, that's still got a little bit of browse left in it. They'll clean it out, then they'll move on to the next field. So you'll see them, move around that river bottom. But it's literally just going from one field to the next to the next. Once they clean that out, they go to the next. Clean that out, go to the next.
Yeah. He says you were saying you only see them periodically from April to June. So where do they go? Well, the doe are getting ready. They're pregnant and they're starting to get ready to fawn.
Well, you see them not hitting those scrapes.
Mm-hmm.
They're still there, but they're not. That's what I guess I mean by that. It ain't that the deer have went anywhere. They're still there. The biggest thing with like me is I'm hunting river bottom. I've got, like Chris said, I've got some of my stands that takes me an hour to walk into, 45 minutes. The deer are not there in the dead beat middle of winter. Those deer will come out of that river bottom and they'll come to those farm fields that are out front. Mm-hmm. And that's where they hang. And then they're not, as long as they're not getting pressured, they're literally bedding right on top of that food source. You know, they're
Yeah.
going to go in 50, 100 yards into the timber, bed down. And when it's time to eat, they're going to get up and they're coming back out to those fields.
Yeah.
Now, because of the pressure and what's going on, those deer are staying in the river bottom because that's where their cover's at, you know, so they're not doing that. But once season's over, they're going to, then you're going to see those deer starting to pop up, but they're going to bed up close to that food source. They're lazy. Deer are lazy. And they're going to stay as close to that as they can, as long as pressure doesn't push them out further.
Yeah.
But if it does, they'll just move down the road somewhere to the next field and where they're not getting any pressure. But as far as like I was saying, where, yeah, you see them disappear kind of April through June, they haven't really disappeared. They're just hanging out more in the crop fields or hanging out in the bean fields or hanging out in the corn fields, the hay fields. And that, a lot of that stuff for me, because I'm a public ground hunter, that's across the road on the private farmland. You know, on my side, I'm in the river bottom. And the DNR does plant a few food plots here and there, but they're very few and far between. So the deer just kind of basically just go across the road, but they still come back. I'll get them in the middle of the summertime, way back in on my mock. Whoop, look at that. Got a couple of doe and 2 fawns. They're making a trip back into the timber, you know, a mile from the food source.
Yeah.
But they're just doing their normal, what deer do.
Plus,
and
everything's grown up too. Everything's grown
Yeah.
up, so they're a lot harder to see when at that time of the year as well.
Yeah,
because it's so thick out there. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
and everything's starting to green up and mature then too, and they can just browse all around, and you don't have to see them. You're probably not going to see them in a pattern yet, because when things start to green up and start to get mature like that, man, they just got food galore.
Well, a deer's
buffet.
diet is 50% or greater of just woody browse.
Oh, just
So
browse.
they get up and just
but
browse
that's when you want to fire up those mineral sites too, because what you get going on in the springtime is when we get that big green up, those deer start hammering that green.
Yeah.
What happens with that is that they flush their systems out really quickly because that vegetation is full of water. So, you know, they're gonna, things are just going through their system quicker. That's where those mineral sites come in really good, because they're going to need that mineral, because they're flushing their system so quickly on what they're eating with that green foliage, that they need that mineral to kind of subsidize and kind of give them that extra. No different you and I getting up, taking a Centrum Silver, you know, you pop your daily multivitamin. Those deer are going to want it. They're going to have that craving to come in and find that salt and that mineral to kind of, because their bodies, it's all subconscious, they don't realize it, but they just start craving that stuff because their bodies are lacking that nutrient, and they're going to search that nutrient out and they're going to find it. So that's your April through June, man. I mean, my mineral sites really about third week of March, my mineral sites will just explode, and then they're hardcore. March, April, May, June, July, still pretty good. Even into August, you know, I'm still doing okay. And then you'll notice towards the end of August, getting into September, now you got all your crops are ripening. Your corn's ripe, your soybeans, you know, so then they start hitting that stuff too a little bit harder, and they'll slow down on that mineral a little bit. And then I found over the years that, you know, come dead beat middle of winter, my mineral sites sometimes will literally turn right off. There ain't nothing visiting. They're not touching them.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I guess, guys, we've been going on for 2.5 hours, guys.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. So I think we're going to end it. We're starting to lose some people. So I think people are getting tired and heading off to bed. So I'm sure
getting tired of listening to us
talking. Yeah. But it was a great live, guys. I appreciate you guys each time you guys come up. I wanted to say thank you to everybody in the chat. Congratulations to everybody that won something. Shawn, Dawn, thank you for the giveaways. That was awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Our pleasure.
Chris,
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Chris, for coming up here. Thank you, Shawn and Dawn, for coming up. Always a pleasure. We're going to be doing a lot more of these coming up here, you know, in the future.
Good to see you again, Chris.
Thank you, Shawn.
For sure. So
I like talking to you guys.
Yeah. So we're going to end it here, guys. So thank you for coming in. Like I always say, take a kid fishing or hunting.
Bye.
See you, Dawn.
Thank you. Take a kid fishing or hunting. We're going to preserve our sport and pass it on to future generations. And we will see you.
All right.
Have a good
See ya.
night.
See ya.
Do, do,